Ramata Wautwana Auruaga Ramata Mona Hlaudi ngowethu Hlaudi ngowethu siyohlala simusapota siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu Hlaudi ngowethu siyohlala simusapota siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu ngowethu ngempela siyohlala simusapota siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu ngowethu ngempela siyohlala simusapota siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu Hlaudi ngowethu siyohlala simusapota siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu Hlaudi ngowethu siyohlala simusapota siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu ngowethu ngempela siyohlala simusapota siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu ngowethu Hlaudi ngowethu siyohlala simusapota siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu Hlaudi ngowethu siyohlala simusapota
Ntate Hlaudi hlokomela batho bana ke bomeno Motsoeneng a tla o bolaya batho Ntate hlokomela batho bana ke bomeno Motsoeneng a batubana kibomenu masweu ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea kibomenu masweu ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea kibomenu masweu
Nantati Hlaudi Tokomela batubana Iwomeru masweu Tataubulaya batea Yewe nantati Hlaudi Tokomela batubana Iwomeru masweu Tataubulaya batea Tataubulaya batea Tataubulaya batea Tataubulaya batea Ibomenu masweu Ataubulaya batea Ataubulaya batea Ataubulaya batea Ibomenu masweu Tokomela batubana Ibomenu masweu Ataubulaya batea Tokomela batubana Kibomenu masweu ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea Kibomenu masweu ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea Kibomenu masweu batubana kibomenu masweu ataubulaya batea batubana kibomenu masweu ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea ataubulaya batea Kibomenu masweu 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 Hlaudi ngowethu siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu siyavuma siyohlala simusapota siyavuma siwelele siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu siyavuma siyohlala simusapota siwelele siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu siyavuma Hlaudi ngempela siyavuma siyohlala simusapota siyavuma siwelele siwelele siyavuma Hlaudi ngowethu siyavuma ngempela Seyohlala semosapoda. Oye siwelele, siwelele, siyavuma. Shasanda maso. Lilizela, mlilizela, lilizela. Oh, now, just. Yes. Abashe. Yes. Oh, Saudi,
That's what's happening currently at the press conference of Mr. Hlaudi Motsoeneng. The press conference is to address all the pending and pertinent matters with regards to a number of issues, and we're going to see what those issues are. One of them is the response to the financial statements and the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee on the fitness of the SABC board. He's also going to talk about the SABC financial state from 2012 to 2016. That will be very interesting. The 90% local content that we currently still are with, the security vetting for SABC staff, as well as the multi-choice contract. And then, of course, the dismissal cases, the dismissal case of the SABC, and also the new SABC board members. This is what he will talk about as we speak, and they're getting ready to bring Mr. Motsoeneng on right now. Let's go there live.
Thank you very much, Mr. Everything. I don't know whether you are resuscitated by 90% or it comes natural. Pamela. We are about to start. Comrades, fellow artists, production houses, music legends present, organized formations in the arts fraternity, guests, members of the Fourth Estate, protocol observed. You are all welcome to this media briefing. My name is Ernest Muikangwa. I am responsible for this program today. I want to start this briefing by echoing an analysis once made by Frantz Fanon that sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence that works against that belief, the new evidence cannot be accepted. It would create a feeling that is extremely uncomfortable, called cognitive dissonance, because it is so important to protect the core belief. They will rationalize, ignore, and even deny anything that doesn't fit in with their core belief. With those words or quote from Frantz Fanon, I wish to call upon organizations that are here. They have requested to present messages of support to this particular journey and or a battle that we are fighting. Today is going to be very interesting. You don't have to worry. Today, it's very interesting. And it's evident because we see lots and lots of media houses present today. I would start with the president of MASA, Musicians Association of South Africa, Teboho Setatu.
Dumelang South Africa. Le kae? Viva Comrade Hlaudi, viva. Viva. Repelele Hlaudi, repelele. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a great day because justice is being done. For the first time, we're going to hear the side of story that we should have had a long time ago during the probing into the SABC matters. It's been very criminal to allow for one side of story where you call on everybody to say anything against a man, and then you don't call the man to come and hear their side of story. It's serious injustice, unconstitutional, and it goes to the core of the flawed probe into the SABC matters, because it's obvious, even a child could see it's a one-sided story to suit a particular narrative. So, you see, I was saying to somebody, actually the president of the Roadies Association yesterday, we were having a brief meeting, and I was saying to him, for the first time I was actually feeling a breath of fresh air. That when I listened to Comrade Chris Malikane, the new advisor to the new finance minister, I thought, wow, finally we're getting somewhere. Finally, we're going to have brave men and women, true leadership. And as I was relating that story of what I heard about radical economic transformation with the president, which the president is emphasizing upon, I said, maybe we're getting somewhere. Only to wake up this morning to the news of the ministers distancing himself from his advisor. And I think, the advisor was upfront to say, I've written the paper in my own personal capacity. But the things that he was talking about white capital monopoly, that I know most people in South Africa don't want to hear because it's the truth. That thing exists. That is why after 22 years, we're still lagging behind. We've done some good progress, but we could have done better. And for as long as we don't change our thinking and the way we do things and stop being apologetic about transformation and bringing about economic emancipation to the majority of South Africans, then we are fooling ourselves. We're getting nowhere slowly. So Hlaudi is the man who actually epitomizes that. He came into the SABC, he breathed some fresh air. We've had COOs and CEOs who have PhDs, but ke magwala. Yes. They are so scared, they don't want to rock the boat. We don't want leaders like those. In fact, they should go away. They must resign. They know who themselves, who they are. But we want leaders with, if I was not on live TV, I would say with balls, who would take the bull. We want people who are not scared. You see, when we talk about white capital monopoly, we're not talking about necessarily white people alone. We have black people who perpetuate this thing because of, for as long as themselves and their families have been taken care of, they don't care about the majority of people that suffer in this country. So it's not a racist. So white people, please don't feel uncomfortable. That thing exists, you know it, and we need to work together as a nation to deal with it. It's like racism, you know. I always have arguments with people. I say, black people, why are you the first people to defend racists? You are a victim of racism, but the moment somebody tells it like it is, to say 99% of white people are racist, you are the first people as black people to say, no, but you can't say that. That is nonsense, and that must stop. But because of time, because I don't want to steal the show, the man is here. My hero is here. So because of time, I'm going to say, MASA, the Musicians Association of South Africa, is known for standing by Hlaudi. That has not changed. That will not change. We are behind him 120%. And those who want to get rid of him, they've got another thing coming. Whether within the SABC or outside the SABC. He's a resident of this country, and he has made a mark, and is a man that you love to hate. Thank you very much.
Love or hate him, but you can't ignore him. The people's COO. Let me take this opportunity to call upon Jobe Ntate Sithole. Let me take this opportunity to call Ntate Sithole. Ntate Sithole. He has requested 60 seconds. And he must not be provoked by Teboho to go an extra mile. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Mandla. Matla. Aibuye. I-Africa. Izwe lethu. Siyabonga, Program Director. On behalf of South African people, the African people in particular, those who believe to be in South African in Africa, those who believe that we, people of this country, we deserve to be treated as a human being. We deserve to be treated as the people of the soil. You know, this is also me, I'm counting 28 years. We've been fighting for this 90%, which is happening now. And can you imagine if I died 22 or 25 years ago? So we are saying, people, they've been coming SABC, about degrees, ngena SABC, about professor, advocates. But abenzanga lutho, sichaba samudimo, abayisa litho, you know? And then now this is so bad, and it's painful. It's like this thing you're going to hide. Sesingene manje kuizwe elingenzi kahle financially ngoba upresident ushintshe lapha nalapha. Okokuqala yini kushintshwa. This is not the first time the president is shuffling. And the same guy, Hanswano, there's a lot of noise. He was kicked out, and then there was no noise. And then now, why now? Good people who have to be wise. Yes, we know. Dollar buys everything. Money buys everything. Devil buys everything. But good people, we are saying, Ntate Motsoeneng, Tupaki and Ntate Hlaudi ayon. Tupaki and Ntate. Ki Tupa Motsoeneng viva, Motsoeneng viva. We are saying, in these 28 years, bafowethu asishintshe. Tina that's why some saw potu baba ngoba kwarayikhotwa ezodumo zakhikhwa out. We people lesalwela ezodumo, you know? And people if the bazot manje, why we fighting now? We didn't start this now. I started long ago. That is why we decided to even start the Musicians Union of South Africa, because we could see that we're not respected. Yes, we know there is money involved that, yeah, if now they are not playing our music, European music, no, we're going to pull out. We're not going to sponsor SABC. SABC, we're behind you. We're going to support SABC. Yes, we know we are moneyless. We don't have money, but we have us. We have us, the people of South Africa. So, people, please, Nama TV, I asimlekelele SABC, support SABC. Setting is bhatalani ama-license because SABC na bakwethu ezokwazi ukukhuthala. It's not to say we are pushing SABC down. We pay our TV license, SABC will continue to support us. Even nalaba bangenayo, the new board, please don't try to change this, guys. Otherwise, sinizobona inyoka iphuza umhluzi.
Thank you, thank you. Members of the Fourth Estates that are here, worry not, because tomorrow your papers are going to fly off the shelves. The People's COO is here. No retreat, no surrender. Ke kopa bitsa ntate Blondi Magen. Asenna ba ikopetse ba re re tswa tselena re tsamaile le ntate Motsoeneng. He's us, we are him. Ha tsebe rhetoric, he implements. Ha buika transformation fela wa I feel a touch. Ntate Blondi Magen, the legend himself.
Suzabala Zulilizwe, Suzabala Zulilizwe, Suzabala Zulilizwe, Suzabala Zulilizwe, Suzabala Zulilizwe, Suzabala Zulilizwe, Suzabala Zulilizwe. Thank you, Commander.
Opa.
Thokozani Bukoko. Good afternoon, leadership, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be here today. It's good to set the record straight today. Yeah, for 22 years, we have been discussed. Yeah. Everybody talks about us. Nobody talks to us. And a man comes along who talks to us. A man comes along who feels that this suffering with regards this music sector has to stop. Just like Zuma, when you want to make a really impactful change, and then you have people rise up against you. You can rise against Hlaudi, you can rise against Zuma, but the majority of the people that put Zuma there, they will make a decision if he's coming down or he's staying there. No people, no foreigners from other countries will come and tell us how to live our lives in this country. We don't do it in Britain, we don't do it in Netherlands, so please don't do it in our country. Be nice visitors, be nice guests, and we promise we will give you the best service that we can. So I'm saying to the new board at SABC, we are not those children that you have controlled and spoken for anymore. Mr. Naidu, I don't even know what you're doing on that board because you are the rotten potato that was on the previous board. Now the same rotten potato wants to be in this board. 1. 2. I don't know why we are SABC's first partner, but we don't have representation on that board. These things have to change, and they're not going to change tomorrow. We're not asking for change. We are making the change. We are instructing. We, the music makers, are writing this script, and all of you are going to listen. From the president to the lowest, you're going to listen to us. Let me tell you, if you don't listen to us, you'll have to stay with your overseas musicians, your Beyoncés, and all those guys. You must play them. But I say to you, and this is from the constituency of music makers, if you go that way, you reduce 90%, just actually take us off your radio. Take us off your radio. Don't play us. Play Beyonce. Export this weak rand and destroy the country. We know that we will die as paupers. We are ready to die as paupers. You take us off your radios, you have done nothing for us. In fact, we have struggled for all the sectors in this country to be where they are today. And while we were struggling, we forgot our sector. Pelile logo. You are going to listen to us and you're going to do just what we say you must do. Thank you. Amanda! Amanda! Irima kwala acheche. Acheche le mura. Huya. Irima kwala acheche. Acheche le mura. Huya. Huyaruna, huyaruna, oh huyaruna, oh huyaruna, huyaruna, babilu tata kopili, amada.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, legend, and Tate Blondi Machene. I always tell my forces that Hlaudi Motsoeneng, he may not be certificated, but he's very much educated. Vumanibu. Eric Nkemotsotso ona. Ndate Babsi Mlangeni hanze ang atamela kere ho di South Africans, the moment of truth has come. The moment of truth has come.
Hlaudi Motsoeneng e amorata awona ya tsanaliwe Hlaudi ya Motsoeneng Hlaudi Motsoeneng Hlaudi morata awona ya tsanaliwe awona ya tsanaliwe awona ya tsanaliwe awona ya tsanaliwe.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Din Sheville. Lena Kelisheville. Yeah. Una le batho ba ratang a ba ntshwara ka re ke sefofu. Ha ke tsebe why. Vuso ntshwara ka re ke sefofu. You know, when it was announced by Tate Motsoeneng, announced 90% local content. Yeah, at last. Something's happening to the musicians of this country. Because hardly knocking from one door to another, trying to get this thing right, icon. Who can ministers of arts and culture, nothing is happening. I remember after Tate Hlaudi has announced this, the secretary phoned me, and then a regular office in high. Kaya khanna kaya ding. Liskilampo so red ne khanna jong. Margala khana kaya ding. And when I got there, I told him our problems as disabled musicians, that we are always at the end, at the tail end of the queue. Because when you are disabled, people always want to think for you, like the old regime used to think for South Africa, black South Africans. People always think for us, we don't have minds to think. And yet, guys like Steve Kekano who are advocates. How many of you are advocates in this world? Right. Now, when we spoke about our problems, an organization, SADMA, which is South African Disabled Music Association, they've recorded a lot of disabled musicians around the country, but their music is not heard over the radio. Now, you see, that's a problem. Now, I hear here and there, but when this thing was announced, no, at least I never gave you as a pauper. Lina, I'll have something in my pocket. But managing is my to reverse this thing. That's the time that and anybody to lead us, the white sticks. Yeah, manda. Now, I'm saying this, that please, people, you must know that there's no difference between you and I. Luna liabona. I'm sure I wrote a lot of songs, more than many of you here in this hall. And Mudimu unga se sing, aune se sing utohona we pidisa. Now that is what Tate Hlaudi was saying. Ari, I'm going to support you, Babsi, and your sector as much as I can. Utswara joalan Tate Hlaudi. Uskatwe. Disabled fella. Ratlawe manukeng. Ratlawa liting luena waya. Pambili Tate Hlaudi pambili. Pambili Tate Hlaudi pambili.
Thank you, legend. Kutlilo kotsa mantswe ya Bibele. Jwale ka hopola le nna hore le Bibeleng hona le batho ba ne ba re Jesu a ke ke be a re leader. Ke manyena. Me South Africa matsatsing ana, you'll hear people saying not Hlaudi, because he does not have that piece of paper. I'm saying it today that Hlaudi Motsoeneng is a leader par excellence, organic intellectual. Whether you love him or you hate him, but you cannot ignore the changes that he have made beyond the borders of South Africa. Romeo Sakaive.
Amandla. Long live Hlaudi Motsoeneng, long live. Away from Hlaudi Motsoeneng, away. Away with the SABC new entering board, away. Away with Krishna do away. Food tech, Krishna do food tech. Food tech, Krishna do food tech. Forward with the transformation in South Africa, forward. Forward with Hlaudi Motsoeneng, forward. Amandla. Comrades, us as the South African Arts and Culture Youth Forum, we are young people, you'll forgive us now and then. We are not going to be apologetic to anyone. our support to Comrade Hlaudi is not going to be limited by anyone. In fact, we are not intimidated by politicians as well. So you can see Mr. Motsoeneng, next time when you do a media briefing, you must take it to the stadium. You see, this room is too small. So we are saying to you, Comrade Hlaudi, that we support you and we are going to support you until we are not going to backtrack because there are people who come here with the agenda. We know that people like Krishna Naidu, they are coming here, they are blaming the 90% local content. You cannot hate your own language. 90% is about our culture, it's about our languages. So you cannot tell us we want to bring American music and say SABC is not making money because of 90% local content. No. We're telling you, Naidu and your new board of capitalists who are wearing some sharp nose shoes and fancy jackets, that if you think we are playing as the artists of this country, we're not talking about people who are here. We are not playing, we're very serious. If you touch that 90% local content and 80% local content on television, you must know that you won't enjoy sitting on those chairs in the SABC. We know that they thought if they get rid of Hlaudi Motsoeneng, they can just go and destroy the legacy that he has brought. It's not going to happen. Where in a country have you ever seen transformation being taken away? Hlaudi Motsoeneng has brought transformation. In fact, for the young artists that we represent, more than 20,000 artists as the South African Arts and Culture Youth Forum. The 90% local content is something that we hope that is going to empower our people, is going to make sure that an African child who's a musician is able to put food on the table. It's going to make sure that an African child who is a musician is able to take his younger sister or brother to school, is able to support the neighbor. It's only because of Hlaudi Motsoeneng. There are people who claim to be transformational people. They came with degrees to the SABC, but they failed decimal. A man who came and said that South Africa has got good policies, but those are just paper policies. He came and actually practically transformed the SABC and brought 90% local content. We are saying to all the artists in this country, if you are still sitting down thinking that everything is fine, manna will fall from heaven, no, forget it. You must rise. This is the time for artists to rise. And we are warning all political parties. You must understand that our organizations have got artists in your different political parties. And it doesn't mean that you can't do politics. Our politics is about speaking. We can do it as well. So we're saying to you that don't deal with people who are pushing transformational agenda. Because when you deal with people like Hlaudi Motsoeneng, you are dealing with people who are bringing food and tables in our houses. Then we're not going to allow that. In fact, Mr. Motsoeneng, we're ready as archive. We've got members all over the country. We want to take this issue to the streets. This issue of boardrooms doesn't work. And we're saying to the journalists who are here, we know some of you are working for white monopoly media. And you are going to actually misquote us. You always write bad about Hlaudi Motsoeneng. We hope today you are going to write positive news that will inspire our youth in this country. So we're saying as the South African Arts and Culture Youth Forum, we support Comrade Hlaudi. We'll always support him. We'll be by him. And we know we work with him. The problem with people in the media, they like to just write blah, 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 left and right. But we live with him, we work closely with him. We know what he's trying to do to change the lives of artists of this country. So people come here with some low degrees, they sit in the board, sitting at the SABC. They've never been in the ground. Do you think Krishna Naidu has ever been to Soweto? Has ever been to Alex? Has ever been to Limpopo on the ground? But Hlaudi Motsoeneng has been on the ground. So we're not going to listen to a character that is actually a lost molecule who comes to the SABC, jumps in the board, he left, he comes back, pushing an agenda of white monopoly capital. We know that this board, immediately when they were appointed by the president, they promised people things. They promised this white media, will bring back the American music so that we can get Chocho and left and right. And we know that some in the SABC themselves, they are conflicted. There are people in the SABC who were doing deals in the past with American and European companies. So when they took away this thing of playing American music and they brought 90% local content, people want their money. They're owing people monies out there. So now that's why when Hlaudi Motsoeneng comes here and says we must transform the sector, because this man is thinking about his people. Even in the broadcasting chart, I've read it, I've read these documents, all of them. They've written that the SABC must take care of its own people. They've never written anything about Americans. Who are we to worry about Americans? They don't worry about us. We're saying, Mr. Motsoeneng, forward is where we're going, and we're not going backwards. Amanda, long live Hlaudi Motsoeneng, long live. Forward with Hlaudi Motsoeneng, forward. Away with Krishna Naidu, away. Away with the interim board of the SABC, away. Food sack, the interim SABC board, food sack. Food sack, Krishna Naidu, food sack. Amanda.
He's a young lion. I'm going to challenge him. If I'm to go to another country, ebe ke bathola ba bapala 90%, and I'm from South Africa, the only sensible thing that I would do is to say, let's do away with this 90%. But the reason behind that would be, I might be suffering from some disease, or I have an identity crisis. Eric Ibitse, ke doctor. You see, Khiba does not only engage with laymen or kitchen young boys like us, etc. He also mingles with intellectuals. And I'm saying it in the presence of Dr. Sibia. And if Dr. Sibia disagrees with me, he's at liberty to say no. When he engages with intellectual, he takes them head on, toe to toe. Kemaka, Dr. Sibia. Am I telling the truth, doctor? Am I telling the truth, doctor? Thank you, Dad. Erega manzwa kere Dr. Sibia. Ke wa moetso ntatwaka. And thanks for coming through.
Amanda, Program Director, thanks so much for the opportunity. The reason why I'm here to support Ubabu Hlaudi is because in time I'm an artist like Gwelela. It's not about me, it's not about anyone that is in parliament, it's about the artists. If you look at Ubabse, Umganwa Mkulu Kakulu, Utagamba Utla before Sholo ina. Mouth when I value music, ama record shops bewa valwa, aya valwa futhi namanje countrywide awekho. And then when Ubabu Hlaudi announce ukuthi 90% ye local music is going to be played, then I said, woo, nangu Jesu asivakashela. Afi akazelanga ukuzophula imithetho kodwa uzoyiqwalisa. Now my question is, if kungena iboard lentsha iubulalelani umthetho kaHlaudi na mangabe uzonda uHlaudi sitshele ukuthi uyamzonda uHlaudi, mangabe uzonda ama-artists sitshele ukuthi uyawazonda. Ngithenge onke ama-store, ama-jet music stores, la bese avaliwe ukuthi ayekho indawo la kuzodlalwa khona kuzothengiswa khona music walabantu. As I'm speaking to you today, every month there's money that I'm paying to the artist because of Ubabu Hlaudi. So ngithe ngiyacheka abanye bangitshela ukuthi why do you buy these stores? Because music uyawa. I'm here to confess today that since I bought these stores, music wala ekhaya, our local artists are benefiting much better than before. And last meeting jalo no president Ubabu Tebohula ukuthi we need to come together now as artists. Sibheke ukuthi yikuphi la bekalimala khona ama-artists wethu. Sesiyitholile ukuthi bekalimala khona ama-artists wethu. We are fixing that. Now I'm saying to the board, ufika nje board ungena emnyango. When I saw ufika lapho wena ekhaya. Do you know what with this artist, if one artist has got money, ukuya ekhaya can be able to feed 9 people? Maybe we are making a mistake. Now I'm challenging the president, our own president, Jacob Zuma. Ukuthi president, mhlambe bayakufihlela izinto awuziboni. Ake uhambe uyobheka phansi. Because labantu bayakumoshela le phansi. Bamosha izinto, we know ukuthi uyawuthanda umculo, uyawuthanda umusic upresident. How can the president allow ukuthi babe bantu bala ekhaya ungasubeke ungasabi khona? Kanjani? And ekugcineni abantu bazobuya bathi Jacob Zuma must go. Kanti why bangasho ukuthi akuhambe laba bantu lapha phansi? You know, a person who implement, we've got a lot of people that are not implementing. Bahlele parliament, bayalala, abenzi lutho. Uyabona? Sine arts and culture, iyalala ayenzi lutho. I have called them several times and said, Buyani nanga amashopo ngiwathengile ayavalwa. Let's assist the artist. Ukuthi ama-artists wethu appeal. Not one has ever come back to me and said, you've got a good plan, let's work on it. Sibone ukuthi iya. Ngithe ngifuna ukuvula i-board yala ma-artists. Kube nama board of directors. Azobuka la mashop siwavule singawavali. Not one has ever supported. One person comes out and say, asidlaleni umusic kwala ekhaya. Kuze kuthi kuphumela ama-artists. Bayabuya bathi awuvalwe. Babhadalwa malini ukuthi abantu basekhaya balambe na? How much are you getting to be paid? Ukuthi aba-artists wethu balambe. Blondie, ngangihamba naye ngikhipha i-sound yami free. Bonke bolo bomkwena. Ngangihamba nabo all over sihamba si-campaigner government wethu ukuthi abe khona. Abuye, abuse, abe khona. Now they are sitting there, they forget about the people. Tinga ngoma tabo Blondie later compose ukuthi asibe government wethu. Too many. What are they doing today? They are sitting there. We love them, we say they must change. It's about time to change. Futhi kube kuyangami ngithi mina Hlaudi must go back to SABC. If you are here, you have been elected to listen to the people, not to listen to your feelings. Asinamsebenzi ne-certificate sakho. Asinamsebenzi nama-degree wakho. Asinamsebenzi na. We are saying Hlaudi must go back. Kuzophila millions and millions of people that we have. If you want these people to get hungry, tell Hlaudi not to go there. If you don't want Hlaudi, implement what Hlaudi has said it must happen. If you don't implement that one, what are we here for? What are we here for? Asiga angikhuluma iqiniso ukuthi asilwe kodwa sikwatile. Sithukuthele sithi thina hulumende is about time now that you think of your people. We have elected you, and now we are telling you, call us. You can't have a decision on artists. They would have called the artists and said, artists, come here. We want to make a change. And the change that we are going to do is, then 90% yasilimaza ngoba senza imali. Who is paying license outside this country? Are they bringing money? Are they paying power to play their music? Is that what they are trying to tell us? We don't agree with it. I am saying I'm handing over Jet Music stores to you artists. And I'm saying to the country, wonke umuntu okhona emhlabeni umculo siyawuthanda kuze kuthi ama artists aphile asithenge lo music wabo futhi siyeke lama pirates. For them ukuthi baphile, stop the pirates and support these artists so that bazophila laba bantu ba compose ingoma. Amandla.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sibia. We are going to take one last speaker before the People's COO. Akena Tabi. Ke batla go wena Dr. Sibia. Batswana ba re botlhale jwa phala bo jwa phalaneng. Kutlo bua ka gore our representatives in parliament, they are sleeping there. In our political terms, we call them sleepists. And when we are angry, particularly after this ad hoc committee thing, where people connived, where the ANC connived with our strategic enemy in a form of a DA, we call them lumpens. Did you get that, Ntate Mthethwa? Lumpens. We're either of a high order. Ke kopa ho bitsa Mesuthukazi Arosi. She'll be the last speaker before the rose that grew from the concrete ascend. The rose that grew from the concrete. wathinta imbokodo.
Wathinta imbokodo. Wathinta abafazi. Wathinta imbokodo. Wathinta abafazi. Wathinta abafazi. Wathinta imbokodo. Wathinta abafazi. Wathinta imbokodo. Phambili ngabafazi phambili. Phambili ngembokodo phambili. Phambili nge-arts and culture and heritage of this country. Phambili. This is about time. This is it. I'm standing here in front of you. As I'm standing here, first of all, we are coming from a very long way as artists in this country. I'm a legend. There's no respect about the heritage. There's none. Zero. Now, as we're standing here, we are appealing to our government.
Okay, we apologize for the loss of sound there, but we're just waiting for the former SABC Chief Operations Officer, who's expected to address that media briefing, a very packed media briefing. And as he came into the room, Mr. Motsoeneng received cheers and singing from the people there. So what we can tell you is that that room is full of mainly people representing the South African arts and entertainment industry, the music industry, who fully support the 90% local content rule that he implemented last year. So it remains to be seen in what capacity Mr. Motsoeneng is going to be addressing the people in this media briefing, but we do know that he will be speaking on a range of issues, from this 90% local content rule to the financial issue. Seems to be going in and out, but steps against Mr. Motsoeneng. He has been blamed for mess that the public, the 90% local content.
We as Africans, isn't that we need to. I've got more. Each and every one of us here, we are very powerful individuals. Therefore, God created us and gave us a purpose to be on this planet. This is a democratic country. This is not manga business. This is not a Popeye. We are not Popeyes. We are people and we need to be heard. Can you just change and respect artists? We do need that. We need to be respected. Thank you very much. I'm not going to be talking too much. Thank you.
Wathinta abafazi, wathinta imbokodo, uzofa. Members of the Fourth Estate, if I do not give him an opportunity to speak, Nkokeli from SATMA. Whilst we are waiting for a leader from SATMA, I wish to also say to the media that is here today, it will be good to also follow on other projects, important projects that Motsoeneng is doing. It's important to go and engage with those kids. Baba Kinyandikolo. It is important to go and engage with those schools that always receives donations from the humble man in the name of Hlaudi Motsoeneng. Hlaudi Motsoeneng knows poverty. He never watched poverty on TV. He never listened to radio in order to know what poverty is. Hence, he could identify with the struggle of artists, with the struggle of African people as a whole. Ntate wa Satma, I think his name is Dumisani. Amandla. Others, they call him Khiba, hobane ke Motsoeneng le melele tshokoko maditlhare. Others, they call him the People's COO. Others, they call him Man of Action. Others call him Mr. 90%. The unfortunate thing is that those who were driving their agenda, who were singing for their supper, decided at some point in that space called Parliament to discredit Hlaudi Motsoeneng. And when they thought Khiba is down and out, he's finished, they didn't know what's waiting for them. Of all those people who formed part of that factional ad hoc committee, I wish to applaud one young man. I'll refer to him as a young man because he's even younger than me, from the UDM, who spoke sense. And I admired that young boy. And at that point, one took a decision that there's nothing honorable about Moketu Wadikadzi. Yeah. How do you conveniently establish an ad hoc committee with the full knowledge that already there's a particular posture that you are taking? Hlaudi must fall. You are going to lynch him midday in the presence of all of us to see. But we've always found comfort in the fact that we knew that they are scared of him. We knew that Hlaudi asemo shanyana. Yes. We are not going to support Hlaudi because Hlaudi was a COO. A position has never defined Hlaudi Motsoeneng. You can give him any position in any institution, he'll always effect change. Yes. I was encouraged when other people as far as KZN, as far as the Free State, as far as Northwest said, finally, we know and understand the people who must lead us. Yes. Jwale ka Moshe hananka bana ba Israel avantsha Egepeta. In Hlaudi, they say they believe. Yes. And I was happy when Hlaudi Motsoeneng said, in any capacity, I'm more than prepared to serve the masses of our people. Yes. And today, I want to challenge him to say, you must never, at any given point, feel let down by those members of the ANC in Parliament or those who constituted an ad hoc committee. Yes. Because ordinary masses of this country love you. Yes. Ordinary masses of this country appreciate the work that you have done. Yes. People in as far as Botswana, Lesotho, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Nigeria, today they can proudly say, we are Africans. Yes. At some point, they were even calling us names as South Africans because we could not even identify with our roots and or our heritage. But after Hlaudi Motsoeneng introduced 90%, they said, yes, indeed, we have leaders in South Africa. And remember, Hlaudi did not only speak about 90% on radio platforms, he also spoke about 80% for television, production houses. I said to my friends in the ANC, of course, those who are sober, I said to them, in government priorities, ANC key priorities, they talk about rural development. So when you talk about rural development in the context of 90% SABC, you are simply saying, gone are those days when an aspirant musician or an aspirant actor will come from Umlazi, will come from Kwakwa, would come from Odendal, would come from Itsoseng, would come from Polokwane, would come from Mpumalanga to make it big in the industry. So what Hlaudi did, it's only that our comrades who happen to be part of those factional lists, that's why they are in parliament, they did not understand the context of 90%, what it means, how it speaks to issues of rural development. Legends are here. They can attest to that fact that previously you would need to come to Joburg to be a star. Tina Mnumzana, she's a star in her own right. She hails from Mangaung, but she had to come to Joburg to make it big. And hence when Hlaudi said, no, we have money, 600 million, we need to make sure that we share this cake. A young person, a legend, ordinary masses of our people in various provinces, they need to create their own stories so that they can get platforms at the SABC. You look at Uzalo, a number of other productions that came through in recent times at the SABC. They are in fact a testimony of his vision to say, if you are a visionary leader, not a Fong Kong, a plastic leader, that's what you need to do. Simple as ABC. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, I wish to take this opportunity to bring forth Ntate Hlaudi Motsoeneng, cool cat.
Yes, I remember comrade Maso. Just. O Hlaudi ngowethu. O Hlaudi ngowethu. Siyohlala simusapota. Sithi siwelele siwelele siya. Maso sanda bafowethu. Hlaudi ngowethu. Siyavuma. Hlaudi ngowethu. Siyohlala simusapota. Sithi siwelele siwelele siyavuma. Hlaudi ngowethu. Ngowethu ngempela. Siyohlala simusapota. Hey! Sithi siwelele siwelele. Lilizela mlilizela lilizela. Siyavuma mhlawethu ngempela. Siyohlala simusapota. Sithi siwelele siwelele siyavuma. Asishaye isandla bafowethu sonke sandla. What? Asimufuni umaimane, asimufuni umalema. Sithi siwelele siwelele siya. O Hlaudi ngowethu. O Hlaudi ngowethu. ngowethu siyohlala simusapota sithi siwelele siwelele siyavuma uHlaudi ngowethu uHlaudi ngowethu siyohlala simusapota siwelele siwelele siyavuma uHlaudi ngowethu amandla viva Hlaudi Motsoeneng viva viva our life saver viva phambili noHlaudi phambili raw young lions raw musicians raw musicians raw phambili noHlaudi phambili 90% asijiki 90% asijiki.
Thank you, Mr. Everything. Because you are Mr. Everything, you go fela ntukisetse fela mo ntate.
Thank you very much, Program Director, all colleagues, because you know I'm still a journalist, so you are all my colleagues. You know, life is very interesting, but I want to repeat what I have been saying many times. In South Africa, you have only one Hlaudi, no one else. It's only one Hlaudi. I want to say to you today, people who organize the press conference is friends of Hlaudi, because everywhere where I go, people are asking me about all these allegations or rumors that people are spreading around South Africa, around the continent, around the world. Because even around the world, you know, they talk about Hlaudi, they write about Hlaudi. Some of them, they don't know even Hlaudi, how he looks like. But it is very important to deal with reality in South Africa. What you see in me is what you get. I'm not apologetic about the decisions that we have been taking at the SABC. That is what we need to do. And I want to say to you that I'm not representing SABC, because you are aware that the court has ruled that I should sit at home until my disciplinary hearing. The second one. I walk the first one. I'm still going to walk the second one, because there is nothing wrong that I have done. Actually, I'm very excited, and I'm going to enjoy myself in disciplinary hearing. You see, some people, when they are taken to disciplinary hearing, they think it's the end of the world. For me, it's the beginning of the world. For me, it's the beginning of Hlaudi. So there's no problem about a disciplinary hearing. They can have that disciplinary hearing. And I'm very excited who's going to come and what people are going to say, what they know, because I'm going to be there to respond on all those allegations. And also, I have a very good team. You know, the team is led by Zola Majabu. And I want to say to you, when it comes to issues that you as journalists you have been asking me, I'm reviewing the public protector report. The answer is no, big no, I'm not. I'm not part of that review, because the remedial action, it doesn't deal with Hlaudi. It is an SABC matter. So I'm not going to review the remedial action of the public protector. But I'm going to deal with the issues in that disciplinary hearing. And I'm waiting for the disciplinary hearing. I have seen here where people have been saying local content, problems about the local content, the audience are going down. I want to know how much. And who did the research to who? Because you see, in broadcasting environment, every time you have audience going up and down. I have checked the research where they are saying because of local content, SABC did not do well. And when I check it, it's 1%, 2%. How can you cry about 2%, 1%? But the issue is not about 90%. The issue, it may be because of the format that SABC is using. The quality of music that they are putting on air. So it can't be because of 90% local content. That notion is misleading. But I want to say to you, in South Africa, we have people with amazing talent. We have people who are better than those musicians outside this country. And we must promote our own musicians. When you read the Broadcasting Act, I'm not going to lecture you here, but you need to go and read. The role of SABC is to promote local content. Is to promote production houses in South Africa. So you can't have the bold and the beautiful outside this country. When you have writers in this country, we have creative people who can write their own stories and talk about their own culture and tradition in South Africa. So when we came with this 90%, we were informed by the needs of people. And I also hear people are saying, no, SABC just implement. Many people we engage many people. Mzwakhe Mbuli fought, Don Laga fought, Yvonne Chaka Chaka, and many others, including Mteto. Many of them, not this one, another one. Call Eugene Mteto.
Okay, we do apologize, we've lost that sound again, but Hlaudi Motsoeneng finally speaking after at least more than an hour of the beginning of the presser with just a show of support for Hlaudi Motsoeneng. But the main question, why is he there or who is he representing? He says he's not representing the SABC because he is still under a disciplinary committee. Let's go back now to see if we have that sound.
Still doing their own part, but what is more important that I need to deal with, you know, we are all South Africans, black and white. Yes. We are all South Africans. All white people and black people should support each other and make sure that we grow our industry, which is this production houses, including musicians in South Africa. And it seems as the benefit is for black. 90% is not for black, it's for white also. Because SABC is playing their own music on that platform. And when you check at the SABC, I have been from the onset when I was acting in 2011. I call all this collecting society to say, tell me, where is this money going to? When these artists are dying poorly. Exactly. I called them. Exactly. There was a big meeting where I called them. I also hear some of them, they were buying buildings, generating revenue. I said, it is wrong. SABC should account. We should know that when you claim this money, you invoice SABC, we know that you have paid relevant people. Yeah. That is what we need to do, because SABC is paying. I want to say to South Africans, don't listen to black people who are being taken by the Western. Yes. Don't listen to them. Because black people, most of them, some of them, they have been captured. You can see what they are fighting for. I will never be proud where a black man stands and say, look, we are not supporting local content. We are not supporting President Zuma when he's saying radical transformation in South Africa. You have people toy-toying.
What for?
And people who are toy-toying, they are minor. You see, people are saying they are many. Those people are not many. They are not representing 50 million people of South Africa. Ordinary people, they know what they want in South Africa.
Exactly.
And some of us who come from poverty, who know poverty, not from reading the books, who grow within poverty, we know when we occupy these positions, we need to plow back to our own people who are poor in South Africa. And when we talk about this local content, what is this local content? We don't deal with musicians. And you know why musicians is all hullabaloo about musicians? Because they are more famous. We are not dealing with musicians. When we talk about local content, we deal with emerging business people in different provinces. At the SABC, I championed that. I said, all these emerging business people in different provinces, they should be able to do business with SABC in those provinces. Head office can't run. Head office can't run business where we are sitting here. We are running provinces by remote. We have empowered those people to say, do business with local people because we want to invest in local people. That is what we are saying. It is not just music that we are talking about. When we talk about production houses, you are aware that all these production houses, in the past, they were having 1-year contract with SABC, which is not sustainable. They were losing talent to other opposition. When some of us, we came, we said, no, stop this. These artists, these actors are workers. They are not just entertaining South Africans. We need to pay them accordingly. And let me tell you, what we mean by local content. We mean by making sure that we create employment in South Africa. Because now, when we introduce this 90%, people are starting to go back to studios to record quality music. They are starting to employ other people. So there is nothing wrong about local content. Actually, all South Africans, we should support local content. I think the Minister of Art and Culture, including communication, they need to regulate all media spheres so that all these other broadcasters that are regulated, they also play 90% in their platform. It should not be SABC only. Even the commercial broadcasters, they should be regulated. They should play 90%. And I'm asking the question, when people are saying that, you know what they are saying? Very interesting. People are withdrawing money because of local content. And I'm asking myself, if you are South African or you come from outside the country, why you would withdraw money for people who actually are benefiting because of them?
Yes, that's a good question.
Why should you withdraw money? But let me tell you, when I was there at the SABC, I went around and talked to investors. And those advertisers, sponsorship, I took them head on. They were having problems about local content. We can't run away from that. I influenced them to support local content. And they said in that meeting, it's recorded, we are going to invest in local content. People should not be mischievous about local content. Everyone should support people who are staying here in South Africa.
Exactly.
Local content, what we want to see black and white benefiting from the revenue of all these business people in South Africa. You know, the pain in South Africa is when it comes to technology, when it comes to these factories, you don't have some of factories who are producing technology parts for broadcasters. Because even SABC, most of the parts, we get them from outside. And when you get them from outside, what you pay is dollars, it's euros. So we need to have our own factories in South Africa. When we come with these big companies from outside the country, what we need to say to them is, you go and work with these South Africans, you transfer skills and expertise to them, so that when you leave, they are able to run those factories in South Africa. We won't be affected by the dollar and the euro if we produce such tools in South Africa. That is what we need in South Africa. But also what we need in South Africa is all South Africans. We should recognize 11 languages. When you read the Broadcasting Act, it says we need to treat all languages equally so. If you don't introduce 90%, where are you going to get that equity amongst all these languages in South Africa? And let me tell you, the ad hoc committee has caused havoc. The question that we need to ask, why they could not ask Hlaudi? When from day one, everyone was saying, hey, that Hlaudi, he took decision alone. Hey, which means I'm powerful, man. One man just take decision alone when you have a board accounting authority. It can't be right. Let me tell you, you see, if you can't win the debate in that environment, you should accept the majority. And I want to tell you, all people, it is true that I have been champion in this. I'm not apologetic about it. But in those discussions and at ESCO, including at board level, I won the debate. What's wrong? If I won the debate in those discussions. And the same people vote with me to support what I have been doing. What's wrong? Let me tell you about Krishna Idu. Let me tell you about Krishna Idu. You see, when you are a sellout, you'll be sellout forever. He's going to sell these other board members again. Let me tell you about Krishna Idu. Krishna Idu, I don't understand. From the ad hoc committee, from Parliament, I don't understand. Because they said, no, that board is not fit. And when I read the report, there is no way they are saying, no, at least Krishna Idu is right. When you read that report, he said the whole board, it was a mess. If the whole board, it was a mess, why Krishna Idu is there? Why Krishna Idu is there? And if you look, because I have worked with Krishna Idu, you see, I'm not going to tell you about other stories about Krishna Idu. I have worked with Krishna Idu. And Krishna Idu is the one. When I get all these awards from Sadma, from eThekwini, from other ordinary people, Krishna Idu is the first to say, congratulations, Mr. Motsoeneng. Saying to the board, let us congratulate this man, he has done well. The minutes are there. But this Krishna Idu goes to Parliament and lie under oath. Lie under oath. And remember, the ad hoc committee said, all those who lied under oath, they should be investigated. Now, where is that process of investigating people who lie under oath? When a liar is in the board. You can see it was a political agenda. And how can Krishna Idu become a board member when he works at Lituli House? If you are saying we want a credible SABC, why do you allow someone who works for someone in Lituli House, who push an agenda for political reasons, And I want them in a board meeting to say, here we don't deal with politics. Here we deal with South Africans. It is on record at the SABC. I want board members. I said, you see the problem, you bring politics in this board, in the SABC. We are going to collapse the SABC. Even if it's an ANC, there is division within the ANC. He pushed certain agenda in that divisions, Krishna Naidu, but he's not trustworthy. For me, he's not supposed to be a board member. And I'm also aware that even some of the organization, they want to take him to court, I'm aware. To say, remove this man from the board. So Krishna Naidu is not credible. Krishna Naidu is part of all these good decisions that we have been taken. Applauding. In some cases, yes, you know, in an ESCO or in a meeting, we'll always differ. But the majority will rule. So Krishna Naidu is part of that. I don't understand why Krishna Naidu is there in that board. You also have what we call conflict of interest. You see, you can't work for print media and serve print media, and you toy with them, you fight with SABC, but you are taken to be a board member. And let me tell you, during the 8 journalists, there is someone there who's at the board now. He has been public, saying that no, we don't agree with SABC, and he has been at SANEF and so on. But you take the same person in a board to serve at board. What kind of credibility that we are looking at? But the worst part, you see, because we are competing with other broadcasters, including print media, we at the SABC at board, we took a resolution at that time to say, no one should play double standard. Work for opposition and work for SABC. Because when you do that, you are going to take strategy of SABC and give others. We were saying, no, there is conflict of interest. But I want to say to journalists, go and read the Broadcasting Act. When we talk about conflict of interest, what do we mean? Because there are some people who are not supposed to be there in that board because of conflict of interest. Let me deal with security agency. And security agency, I'm talking about government security agency. Yes, they have been there at the SABC. I have been part. I know why they were there. One reason is, all people who are supposed to be at the SABC, they must be vetted. They must be vetted before you can work for any SOE or government. SABC has been using what you call private sector. We don't even know where they come from, who sponsor them, vetting SABC people, which are part of SOEs of government. By law, it can't be right. People who work for those SOEs, they should be vetted by the security agency of government. So which means we have been doing wrong stuff. And when they came to us, they said, no, this is wrong. We need to vet all of you, including the board, including you, Hlaudi. That is what they said. I have that report. Because myself and other directors, including the chairperson of the board, Professor Maguve, we have been working on that. They said, no, what you are doing, it is wrong. Even people who are doing business with you, they are not vetted. And I said to them, can you come and assist us so that you can vet all of us? But I was also vetted. You know, I worked for government. I was vetted by the security agency, government. Because I was dismissed at the SABC, I came back, and I enjoy these things of dismissal and coming back. I enjoy to go for disciplinary hearing. I enjoy life. I enjoy everything. You see. And people, you know, when some feel shame about, like, hey, what is happening about Hlaudi? Hlaudi has this thing. That thing is there. It's not going to go away. Because I was born with this one. So forget about it. I'm not going to change. And when we introduced this content, local content, I said, even if South Africans can change and say, Hlaudi, you have messed up, I will stay alone. I will be happy in my grave and I will protect what I have been doing. I'm not apologetic about what happens at the SABC. I want to say to you that I'm not going to deal with the issues of finances of the SABC because I'm not there. But when I was there, money was there. When I was there, money was there. You see, I want to say to you, if you look, technically I have been out for SABC for more than 2 years. Because I went and come back, I'm there for 2 months, I'm gone. People rush to court. Court said, hey, Hlaudi, you can't be there, man. You need to be clean first. We need to clean you. Go for disciplinary hearing. So I'm waiting for that disciplinary hearing so that maybe they can clean me up again. But what I know is I'm a fighter. What you see is what you get. I'm not apologetic about what is happening. But also, I need to deal with this ad hoc committee. Remember, they said to South Africans, I ran away in Parliament. I was not invited by that ad hoc committee. I went there to accompany my former chairperson, Professor Maguvi. Yes. When they walk, I work with them because I was not invited. They have written to all people to say, come. Those people went. I don't have any letter. My lawyers, they have already written to ad hoc committee and the Speaker of Parliament. But let me tell you, they can't implement that ad hoc committee on Hlaudi because I was not given a chance. That one, it can be disaster. I'm ready for it. It will never happen. Let them try it. Because even if you have killed someone, you must go there and answer why you killed this one. Or deny that I didn't kill him. So why they were afraid to talk to me is because they knew that I was going to tell them the truth. And I was not going to be apologetic on all those decisions that I have taken with the team that I work with. But also, if you look here, there are issues about multi-choice. I need to deal with multi-choice issues. Very interesting. And I'm very proud that I'm part of that contract of multi-choice. Multi-choice has invested a lot of money in the SABC. When SABC we could not pay sports rights, I had to negotiate with multi-choice. Instead of paying 6 million, we will pay 3 million. We have been doing that business with multi-choice. They have been contributing a lot. When it comes to 404 and ENCO, we have employed people. We pay operations of the SABC. The money that we pay operations comes from multi-choice. You know, people who don't know broadcasting, or they know but they ignore it. They are saying all the archives are sitting at multi-choice. The only thing that multi-choice did, after signing this contract, they were building a nice building there. You know, next to them there is another building. They were thinking that we have taken all those archives, put them in that building of multi-choice. In broadcasting, it works like this. There is what we call signal distribution on air. So all the materials, all the archives are sitting there at the SABC. What you see is distribution, linking with multi-choice. Like your SABC 1, 2, and 3. And remember, SABC 1 and 2 and 3, they have been there for many, many years. Who said that we sold the archives? What is the difference between 404 and ENCO when they are sitting in that bouquet of multi-choice? And actually, they are not multi-choice channels. They are SABC channels. Because during migration, you need those channels to be on the SABC platform. We said we are putting those channels as pilot projects so that when we migrate, those channels can come back home. But also, you need funding for these channels. It's not for free. And MultiChoice is funding those channels with interest. People who are advertising on those channels, MultiChoice, they don't gain a cent. All money comes to the SABC. So what is the problem about people who are making noise? What is their interest? I think the question that we need to ask as South Africans, why these people have so much interest? Why these people want to promote ETV? You know, some of them, even some of the former ministers, they were shareholders in that ETV. Some of them. Why do you want SABC? Because if you are talking about competition, SABC compete with free-to-air, which is ETV, any free-to-air. But when it comes to pay TV, we don't compete with pay TV. But pay TV, we have make sure that they contribute to the SABC. And how do they contribute is that money pays the employees of the SABC, some of them, pays all the operational of the SABC. Remember, we have 24-hour news channel. And all these operations that I'm referring to, whether in the provinces and so on, we use that money for SABC. We don't run 404. You don't have staff that deals with 404 only. You have newsroom as a whole. So you need to understand that there is nothing that SABC has sold the archives. And Krishna Idio was part when we took that decision. But let me tell you, Krishna Idio, yes, disagree with the contract. But the board went and get a senior counsel, not a lawyer now. A senior counsel, someone who can act as a judge. And a senior counsel said, there is nothing wrong about this contract between you and MultiChoice. That opinion is there within the SABC. There are people who are making all this big news these days called the Guptas. And that channel, that SABC, we are funding that channel. We are not, SABC is not funding that channel. And remember, when I'm talking here, I'm not talking as SABC, I'm talking about issues that when I was there, what we did. I'm not representing SABC here, but I was involved in those negotiations. We are not paying any cent for that broadcaster of the Guptas. We are not paying a cent. There is nothing, zero. You have what you call TNA, the one, the newspaper. SABC is not paying a cent. What you pay is normal production. You know, when you go broadcast, you will pay for your people, you will pay for whatever that you pay. They will arrange some of guests, and they will do whatever and do whatever. We are not in that space, but we are not paying a cent. But we need to ask ourselves, what are the implications for South Africa if we chase other people away? Who are working for the Guptas? South Africans. When you chase them away, you are saying, go back to the shacks where you come from. That is what people are saying. Because we need to say good governance, which I support, but don't go beyond issues that now you want to chase people away, you want to close their factory. Because those factories, they assist South Africans. So we should not allow that as South Africans, so that people chase other people away. Why can't they chase other people away who are not South Africans? Because there are big companies who are not South Africans. And previously at the SABC, you have what you call evergreen contract. What it means evergreen, you have only starting date. You don't have ending date. That is where I touch the real depth. Because immediately when I see this evergreen contract, I said, no, there's a problem here. Let us make sure that now we cut this evergreen contract. But when they do business, they should do business with South Africans, so that South Africans, they can get experience and expertise. That is what we need to do. There is nothing wrong that during my time at the SABC we did. Actually, we did what South Africans are looking for. And when it comes to the policy issue, we went around, we consulted all provinces, and people said to us, we need local content. People said to us, why are you always showing this fight on television, people killing each other? So, when we deal with the issues of the visuals, you remember the 8, those so-called 8 journalists. The so-called journalists, in my view, they haven't won the battle. Not at all. And let me tell you, because people are afraid to talk about these issues. I have minutes here. During the elections, I went and addressed the political team. They were asking many questions and so on. I said, no, I don't care where you belong, which political parties you belong. What I care, you need to give South Africans quality news. That is what I care. I said, look, you need to balance your stories. This is what I said to the journalists at the SABC. You need to balance the stories. You can't go and slash someone, you don't get response from someone. And you can't say time was not on my side. Who's gonna die if you wait for someone to respond on what other person is saying? That is what I said, balancing, it is very important. And I even said to them in that workshop, I said, look, you can't compare President Zuma, it's not a secret, it's there in the minutes, and other leaders. Because what President Zuma does, it affects all of us, all political parties, it doesn't matter who. I said, separate President Zuma because he's leading the country. He's the state president. You can't compare him with Gwede Mandashe, the SG. You can't compare him with Maimani. That is what I said in those meetings. I said the president needs to be given more time so that he can explain all the decisions and other matters, because he's the president of the country. Those others, if they want time, they should wait for their turn. If they are president, they will get the same time that the other president were getting. So, this is what I have been saying. And there was a lady who was acting there, Sophie Mkwena. Sophie Mkwena even invited Matata Zedu in a workshop. Matata went and addressed the political team. I was not there. I came, he was there, but I addressed, and then I asked them, ask any questions. Stupid questions if you think those questions are stupid, or any questions that you think really you need to ask me. They ask me, I respond, they clap hands. There is nothing wrong that we did. But let me tell you, the 8, now I hear, because I signed an affidavit and I hear from the lawyers when I was there, that the judge who was presiding over the 8 journalists, the wife was in charge for that firm where the wife is working. So the judge was supposed to declare his interest. Because if it was another judge, it will be a different story. It will be a different story. Because we need to ask ourselves, when we talk about the rights of people, those people who are burning buildings, private or public, do they have the rights more than those people who want to be in the classroom? Do they have the rights more than those who want to be in the classroom? And when you destroy this property, when we are saying South Africa is struggling, unemployment, there is no money, where these people are going to go? Where students are going to go? When you go and ban libraries at the university, where are they going to go? We as South Africans, we should not condemn that. We should not clap hands and be happy. Because we are all South Africans. We need all this property for our own children. So you can't destroy the same property. And you go to court. And at court, if I remember very well, the issue there was labor issues. But people mix the issues and so on. But I'm happy. The Constitutional Court has dismissed the 8. When they went to the Constitutional Court to say that policy of Hlaudi and others, it was not constitutional. The court said, no, no, dismissal. They could not even hear.
But newspapers and media, what is happening? They're not talking about those issues. Actually, if it is true that the judge did not declare, he should be reported to the relevant authority. Because which means people won those cases. For me, it was bias. Because I didn't even understand how can people go and toy and make that noise that they were making when they need to protect their own country. We all need to protect this country. And we are not saying journalists should just give, what do they call journalists, good news. I have never said good news. I have been saying report the bad and the good. I have been saying that you can't have when you watch television, you listen to radio, it's all crime, it's all about people killing each other. When there are ordinary citizens and NGOs who are doing very well, we want to see them on television. We want to listen to on radio. We want to create role models in the society. So that is what we want to do. So in my view, we should not run away from the truth. And the more people run after Hlaudi, they don't know Hlaudi, because I was not produced by them. You see, the only difference, I was not produced by people. I was not produced by people. I know myself. So it is very important that people understand. And when they go to war, they should understand what kind of war. Because I represent the majority of South Africans. That is what I represent. And when people have been calling me to go to politics, because I need to deal with this one, I said, no, I can walk. All these South Africans, they'll vote for me. People will be shocked. You see. And I have been addressing all provinces. Not few people, thousands people. Thousands people in different provinces. And other politicians, they can't even address 10 people. But also, what is more important? In politics in South Africa, watch the debate in Parliament. What are we benefiting in those debates? What are we benefiting in those debates? Those people are not representing the people of South Africa anymore. They represent their own personal interests and their own organizations. That is what they debate, what they are there for. So I'm saying we need to change. Even Parliament should come to the task. Parliament should make sure when they debate, if you personalize and then you attack someone, what is the benefit for ordinary citizens? Nothing, zero. You see? And if I was a politician, I will never allow where you have 10 or 20 political parties. For what? For what? Because actually, we as South Africans, we employ politicians when we are unemployed ourselves. We are unemployed ourselves, we employ politicians. They are employed by citizens. And anyone who doesn't have metric like Hlaudi, they think if I go to Parliament, at least I can get people at least 1 seat or 2 seats. Why do you have someone with 1 seat or 2 seats in Parliament? So we need to change the constitution of South Africa so that parties that are there, they have numbers, they have people behind them, they represent people. We should not create jobs for politicians, which we are doing in this case. Now I have never seen where ANC collude with opposition against Hlaudi. And people have been asking me, Hlaudi, are you an ANC? I'm not going to give you an answer, but I vote. But I vote. I'm not going to give you where I belong, because it is my secret where I belong. And the work that I do, I should be professional and keep what I'm doing. But the issue is, in South Africa, you have many political parties unnecessarily. Those political parties, they need to be reduced. It is a multi...
so that that money we can invest in ordinary citizens of South Africa. And I have been saying, why do we give people what do you call everything free, free, free? You see, we are creating a lazy nation. What we need to do, we need to make sure that we create opportunities for people to run their own business, for people to use their minds and their innovation. That is what we need in South Africa. So, Ernest here and others, those who want Hlaudi to be the minister. Others, they want me to be president. And I said, you know, because I support a woman, because some people are pushing a woman, I won't stand for president because of a woman. Because you can't say you support women, but you contest them. You can't say that. You can't say I support women, but it's you who's contesting the women. I don't want to play in that space. Let's give a woman a chance so that we reflect real South Africa. But also what I need to deal with here, SABC. You know, SABC, you have Broadcasting Act, you also have that commercial part of the SABC, where people are lambasting SABC. Why can't they generate revenue? When you read the Broadcasting Act, it is not commercial 100%, because you still need to fulfill the public mandate in that commercial space, which means you can't compete with multi-choice and others if you talk about commercial. That is what I want to clarify, so that people are aware that really what they are talking about, they don't know what they are talking about. But what we need to do, South Africans, I'm happy that we as South Africans, we know what we want. I'm also assisting artists and other people outside SABC now, because I'm outside. I have secure money for the production houses and artists with other companies. And if I was at the SABC, credit will always go to the SABC because it has been going to the SABC. But now I'm out. I can't watch when our own people are struggling. So that is what I'm doing now. But I can tell you that my lawyers and myself, we are ready for disciplinary hearing. There's no issue about it. So I'm waiting. I'm going to enjoy myself there in that disciplinary hearing. But also, when you talk about all these contracts that SABC, we have taken a decision. Some of them, yes, I was more part and vocal, but let me tell you, at the SABC example, if you deal with technology, if you are going to build a studio, you need to move with speed. Because if you can't move with speed, it will take 1 year or 2 years, because the tools are not coming from South Africa. You are going to pay triple money. So we changed our corporate plan, and I said, let us change this corporate plan so that our corporate plan, we are saying we're going to build the studios within a year. Because if we didn't do that, we were still going to pay more money. Because when the dollar and the rands and the euro and so on affects us, you pay triple. So people, they don't know that. So people are complaining about, hey, Hlaudi has built a studio. It is true. The sets are there. But did I take the sets with me? No. They are still at the SABC. And the fraud will be, you know, fraud will be if I have taken a cent. Yes. The studios are not there, it will be fraud. Exactly. But if the studios are there and multi-studio, new studio, the best technology. And I have been saying to the SABC, why do you want to build 10 studios? When you can build 1 studio, multi-studio, you do everything in that studio. I can see some of the colleagues are here, they know I have been saying that. in those meetings. I said, no, why 10 studios? Because they become white elephants. Let us build 2 or 3 studios, but we know we are going to use those studios. But because people have been chowing. No? And the more they delay, the more they get money themselves. So some of us, when we come, we said, no, we stop this. And I'm still saying to you, there's nothing wrong that SABC did. And in SABC, we have very good managers there. But it's just that they don't have this, thing like me. That is the only difference. But you have very good people. And if, I'm not going to talk about whether the new board is going to get rid, because I don't know. I don't know, I can't comment about that issue. But what I know, you can't destroy what is good for South Africans. That is what I know, you can't do that. You may say, no, we don't want Hlaudi. It's fine, but you don't want Hlaudi. Hlaudi is going to lead you in other platform. I'm going to lead you. You see, you may say you don't need Hlaudi here, it's fine. You will find myself sitting reporting to me. But also what I want to say is that TNA breakfast, it has been assisting people of South Africa to understand what government does. It has been assisting. And actually, now I'm surprised. Even people of the ANC who have been supporting, now they turn against the same thing. When they have been attending the breakfast, they have been there talking about all these issues. But as an individual, and the majority of South Africans, if people touch what is good for South Africa, we are not going to fold our arms. Whether I'm in or I'm out, it is not going to happen. So people should know that. And I want to close by saying that as SABC it should be different from other media. Because it is a public broadcaster. Yes. The way they deal with issues, respect, even if you don't like the person, even if you don't like the president, you can't use language that is not that we can't accept. And I want to say to Romeo, I know Romeo, young people, they use this language. For me, I don't support insults. No. We may differ, but we should not insult other people. You see, I don't want where people insult other people. Let us respect each other, but differ vocally so, and use right language. So I think it is very important. You see, for me, I always respect people, even if I differ with them. And actually, I don't want to be loved by people. I need to do the work. You see, I don't want to be loved by the people. I need to do the work that I'm supposed to do. So, and I'm saying to you, when we could not even pay PSL example, I had to negotiate with PSL for trade exchange. When SABC could not afford to pay sports rights. And if you remember, the first interview that I did with Robert Marawa after the appointment as the acting COO. There was no Bafana on air. There was no Bafana. SABC were not involved. There were all these soapies from outside. You see what you call austerity. Because SABC introduced austerity, which means if you introduce austerity, you can't invest in black people. You can't invest in your own people. So what we need is people with more innovation, and actually force all these big companies to say, you invest here, you invest in our own people, you invest in local content. But what's wrong if we are going to suffer and we are fighting for the right thing? We should suffer. I'm appealing to all South Africans to say, let us suffer But that suffer, it will be a short period. After suffering, we'll emerge stronger and stronger and have more money as South Africans. I even said to people, look, you see, I don't understand black people. I'm black, but I don't understand the other black people. And why I don't understand the other black people? How do you complain about white people when they are powerless? When you hold power in your hand? Why do you complain about white people? Why do you complain about, we have all this stumbling block because of white people? There is nothing like that. You see, I work with white people, and I can tell you, white people, if you are clear about your issues, they will go with you. Yes. And they will support you. Yes. I have been working with good white people who, when I put my issues, we disagree, but at the end, they will say, Mr. Motsoeneng, we can see what you are talking about. Yes. So let us not blame race and blame whoever. We should not do that. But also, I stand for young people. I stand for young people when they apply for the jobs, you can't ask them experience. Because you should give them experience yourself. No one was born with experience. In my journey at the SABC, I came with the issue about the cleaners. People who are cleaning that SABC and the security. Yeah. Because they were toy-toying. I said, black people, I don't understand why you toy-toy. Who are you toy-toying? Against us? They said, yes. I said, but remember, why can't you open your own company? A cleaning company and form a corporate? So that you are shareholders, you own that company yourselves, rather than to work with other people and complain about them. The same with security. That is what I have been saying it should happen at the SABC. I don't know whether it is going to happen or not because I'm not there. But reality is, transformation, we can't apologize. We can't. We must implement transformation, come whatever. Yeah. If it costs us our lives, we must do that. Yes. You see, that is what we are going to do. And I started this radical transformation. I started that thing. And I have seen that people have joined me. But also, in South Africa, we need to pay living wage for all South Africans. We need to create jobs. You see, that one is very critical for me. If we create jobs, rather than give people RDP houses for free, and then grants for free, because we are producing a nation that is lazy, a nation that can't think about themselves. So, one part is, if you talk to other leaders, they are always in London, China. When you ask them, why are you around the world? They are saying, no, we are going to benchmark with other countries. Here's the issue that I want to ask. When these countries are going to come to South Africa and use South Africa as a benchmark? Because we need to create a nation where these other countries, they will come and use South Africa as their own benchmark. But when it comes to local content, especially in broadcasting, I can tell you, I have met 3 countries. They have used SABC as their benchmark after 90%. So, all people who are reading media, don't listen to them. Yes. Because they push their own propaganda. They have their own people who are feeding them wrong information. So listen to us when we talk to you. Yes. An ordinary citizen of South Africa. Yes. So that is what I want to say to you. But I'm stronger than before than yesterday. Actually, I'm ready to take the nation forward. And I want to say that to all media, because I come from this space. You see, your president, you must respect your president. Whether you like him or you don't like him. And all citizens, they must respect him. You see, if you can remove someone, hey, we are going to remove everyone each and every day. Today we are not happy. Motsoeneng has done this. No, he's not a good president. Move. Tomorrow, we should not allow that to happen. Yeah, it's anarchy. Leave the man to serve his term. And then let us see who's going to come and whether that person is going to serve people of South Africa. But also, I'm not President Zuma's spokesperson, or I'm not his person. No, I'm not. But reality, we need to talk in South Africa. When you go around the world, they respect their own presidents. Even if they don't like them. Even their own opposition, they respect their own president. In South Africa, what kind of nation are we building here? What kind of nation? And you also take someone who said, you put them in a board. Someone said, no, this one is running South Africa like a banana republic. Yo, my daughter. How can you do that? You see, in my view, SABC board should not be appointed by politicians. It should be appointed by ordinary citizens. And SABC board should be chaired by a retired judge. That is what we need to do, because each and every, all these other board members, they go there and serve their own interest. But the worst part, you know why there is crisis at the SABC? Most of them, they don't work. When they don't work, they also checking the chocolate cake. Why do you take people who are unemployed? You put them as board members. Why can't you put people who are committed, who run their own business? They don't have time for gossip. They have time to make sure that SABC run professionally and profit is there. But I want to thank the former chairperson of the board and that board that I serve under, Dr. Ngubane. I want to thank Ellen Shabalala, the interim during the board, because he chairs the both. Actually, I served 5 boards. And because I'm not the yes man, they know me. What you see is what you get even in a meeting. If I disagree, I disagree. But I put my points. And most of them, if you can check all this decision of the SABC, I influence those decisions. They vote with me. But now they went to Parliament and said, no, Hlaudi, go and read the minutes. You will see all of them, they were there. All of them supported it. Even maybe few of them, but you see, if the majority has taken decision, you are part. Even if you don't like such decisions. But if ad hoc committee went there and called people who are disgruntled, who are not even working for SABC, and ignore someone who's still working at the SABC. Remember, they call everyone. And when they were asked, they said, no, he's not an employee of the SABC. I don't know how they read English. They said, no, he's not an employee of the SABC. Okay, let's say I'm not an employee, but why do you go and take other people who are not employee of the SABC?
There's no consistency.
And you ask them to come and cook stories. But I'm waiting for them, those people. And most of them, I employ them at the SABC.
Yes.
Those who were talking there. So I employ most of them as directors, because we employ executive, we employ them. But other issues is the agency, security agency of government, they have done well to advise us what to do, what not to do when people come there. And then you media, you are saying people who have been tapped by Hlaudi. I need proof that there is someone that I was listening. That, hey, what this person is saying. Give me evidence. And I can tell you today, no one was tapped at the SABC when I was there. Why do you want to tap people? You want to listen to their secrets when they talk to their girlfriend and their wives and their children. Why do you tap people? Because people have freedom of speech. Whether they differ with you, they don't like you, you can't tap them. But I can tell you, we need to transform RSG. There's a radio station called RSG. That radio stations need to be transformed as a matter of urgency because they are sitting in an island. And I touch that radio station. Unfortunately, I'm not there. But I hope other people will do the same thing and touch that radio stations. And actually, music should be played across all platforms. Yes. We should not have where Ukhozi FM plays isiZulu, Sesotho play. No, let's spread across music. But we are not saying, we are saying the bulk of music, because you still need to keep your culture and tradition. It should be done by that station, but rotate other music in different, including RSG. But I'm very happy. Maybe they want to ask me questions. You know, I have been talking. But you can ask me any questions that you think you want to ask me. I will respond unapologetic. And friends of Hlaudi, thank you very much for coming. And I know friends of Hlaudi, those are South Africans, and majority of them. But let me tell you one story. You know, white people like Hlaudi. I'm telling you, I meet so many white people. Sometimes someone rushed to me, white person at the garage. I was at the garage. I was saying, hey man, what is this man? I said, hey Mr. Hlaudi, you know, we support what you do. We are with you. You see. And even at the SABC, I said, SABC is too black. And I was right. Because I was saying, you can't employ only black people, because when you do that, you are also doing the same what apartheid have been doing. And I said, young people who are coming from tertiary, as white, they need to be employed at the SABC. So, you see, we need fairness in South Africa. And not all white people are bad. Not all of them. It's like black people, not all of them are bad. You see. But have you seen that English can't define you? And English can't make you a better person. Because when you play with English, you tempt people, you think you have arrived. You can only arrive when we see the value, the outcome of your work. And thank you very much.
Comrades, friends and forces. You see, Hlaudi Motsoeneng is my hero. And at times, I know order. And that's why I can order. Ad hoc committee, I will never allow that. There must be order, including Tafulenye. I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm going to call people to order. Whether you are my force or not, I'll call you to order. We are going to take sets of questions. There'll be a roaming mic. And as we get 5 questions, and if there are other 5 questions, then we'll entertain them. Meso Tukasi Arosi earlier, when she spoke, she was very emotional, and she had asked me to read this letter that was written on the 2nd of February 1835, written by Lord Macaulay to the British Parliament. She said, this makes it very emotional. I have traveled across the length and breadth of Africa and have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country, such high moral values, people of such caliber that I do not think would ever conquer this country unless we break the very bone of this nation, which is the backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage. And therefore, I propose that we replace her old and ancient education system, her culture, for if the African think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation. Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you very much. I think this is also in support of a transformatory agenda. We are proud. We are friends of Hlaudi, and we are proud. We are unshaken. We are clear. We do not only support Hlaudi as a person, but we also support his ideals, the love he has for the people of this country, and anything and everything that is African. And lastly, I'm sure COSAS is happy where they are, because what he has done, their slogan always say, each one teach one. And I hope those drama queens that have said mouthful about the multi-choice deals and all those things without having knowledge and information, they have learned a good lesson today. Rules of engagement, you will introduce yourself, the media house where you come from, and you'll ask your question. Thank you. We'll start with you, my sister.
My name is from the business desk at the SABC. My question is directed to Mr. Motsoeneng. Ndade, I feel that you did not address us adequately with regards to the finances of the SABC. As everyone may be very well aware that the SABC currently is not doing well financially. There are talks of a bailout that is sought to the range of around 3 billion rands. If my memory serves me correctly, that when you were presiding over the SABC and its finances, you often spoke about a 1 billion rand that was sitting in the coffers. And all you have said now is that when you were there, the money was not there. Are you saying that you don't know what happened to the money? Where is the money? I know that close to around 100 of my colleagues have not had their contracts renewed and are actually on the verge of losing or have lost their jobs. And the broadcasting, or the SABC is really, really in a bad space, which I feel that we need more answers, particularly from you, sir, about the finances of the SABC.
Thank you. You said what's your name?
Diaboseto, Dad.
Diaboseto, my brother.
Thank you very much to Mr. Motsoeneng, and thank you everyone who come here. My name is Junior Mabasa. I'm from Limpopo, Guyana. I'm a Tsonga guy. Yes. What I want to say to Mr. Motsoeneng, I just want to thank because he said, sorry, sir, I born in Guyana, we are Tsonga. So big things for impressing with English, yeah, it's not our things. Yes, yes. I can also talk my language as well. Yes, as today we are promoting 90% local content. Yes, so I just want to cover everyone so then you can hear, we can have the communication as well. What I want to try to say, at our TV industrial, we don't have a Tsonga drama. Why is not there? That's my question. And then two, last time they were busy trying to employ some other Tsonga people in generation there. Just check it, those things. They just give it the part of you being police. You don't talk sometimes. I went home as well. I'm one of the actors as well. When there's other guy called it Fuman Shilomani, who was playing on the TV, I think my mom, he was looking to beat me just because he need to hear that language. He said, Tsonga, they are at TV today. Why we are not there? Now we're still busy trying to fight as youth. We need opportunity there to find our own drama, Tsonga, that can play Monday to Friday. Seems like other things. When you see, when the radio playing there, we have got the other radio, call it Mungana Lawrence under SABC. There's a drama, call it Mina Emina. When that drama play, if you can just go there and touch this radio, Madala will beat you. He said, you play with my battery, you. And you understand what I'm saying? So now we need our TV, we need our platform. That's why we are here today. I'm not feeling shame. We have got our colleague Mike and, come again? Mike, again. So that's our colleague. We're busy with producing new platform, which is we need to see these things on TV, Monday to Friday, and they will fight for this. We are ready for 90% and 80% local content. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Who's going? Can we take my brother? My sister, I've noted you. You'll come through as well. I would want us to prioritize first sets of journalists so that they do not say they were ambushed, they were deprived an opportunity to ask questions. I know that Motsoeneng is here till midnight if you so wish. If you have a busload of questions, he's more than willing to answer all those questions once and for all. Vutumlelo. Show my brother.
Leolom Kendane from Independent Newspapers. Just two quick questions for Mr. Hlaudi. You say that you'll be going to a disciplinary hearing. Could you just help us with the date? Has it been communicated with you? When is it going to be held and all that? Yes. And secondly, you said that the interim SABC board is conflicted. Are you calling for it to be disbanded? And also, you made mention to the fact that the political parties in the country should be reduced. Are you calling for a one-party state? Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. We are sitting on 3 questions there, right?
Hi.
I'll allow. Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll do the second round. Initially, we wanted to do 5. But don't worry, colleagues.
SABC, you see, I have never said that there was no money at the SABC. I said when I left, there was money at the SABC. That is what I said. So that question of yours is wrong. But also, when I was there, all of you SABC employees, you know, freelancers and so on, by today will be working. So I can't answer for SABC when I'm not there. I have been there for more than 5 years, dealing with freelancers, and actually I have created better life for you SABC people at the SABC. There is no doubt about it. So when you see, the problem is, if I was there, I would be able to respond to your question. Remember, I'm responding from the ad hoc committee. The reason why I'm here, I'm responding on the ad hoc committee and all these allegations that media has been talking about. When I left SABC, there was money. It was 800 million. When I left, it was 800 million. So it was money, and to run SABC, everything operationally, you need 600 million. Né? That is what you need at the SABC. When I left you, I'm smiling. Because even when I went to court, the SABC said, remove Hlaudi, you are going to cause crisis for the employees of the SABC. The minister said the same thing, we are going to cause a crisis. It is there, it is not a secret. And I have been generating money for that organization. If they don't tell you, they don't tell you. And I'm generating money now. Some of the artists can tell you here that there's a busy money, not peanuts. Because I'm not at the SABC, I can't generate money for SABC now. I'm going to assist people who are outside. You see, my dear, in life, what people ignore is talent. To do certain things. You know, there is that talent that you can't take it away. You can have all many people, if they don't have that thing of Hlaudi, forget. You see? So what I'm saying in you, when I left, and you know I have been protecting freelancers, if I was there, those freelancers will be there, and other people will be there. Money will be there. But I can't tell you, because I'm not representing the SABC, it will be very difficult for me to respond. And actually, the problem of the SABC started during my first disciplinary hearing. And when I came after disciplinary hearing, SABC could not afford to pay sports rights. I had to go and negotiate and save them 32 million rands. It is on record. So your shop stewards there at the SABC, they will know what I have been doing. When I came at the SABC, there was no SABC. Sam is there. They will tell you. They were all fighting, some of them fighting with me. I make them my friends. I said, look, come, let's talk. You see? And together we put SABC at the right place. So I can't talk about issues when I'm not there. And I'm not representing SABC here. I'm just talking about, and it is pain for me when people lose jobs. I mean, if I have been able to raise 1 billion for the SABC, that is also paying you as SABC people, the operations, that multi-choice money, and also negotiating other deals. When I came for the second time again after court, I raised 120 million. The elections of the SABC, if I didn't, I don't know what was going to happen, because I funded the elections myself. I went and raised when SABC, when I came back, they said, no, there's no money for elections. I said, don't worry, I will assist you. And I think SABC has been very, really honest, publicly dealing with all those issues. But for me, to deal with SABC issues, whether it's money, whether it's what, and people who cause also the problem for SABC, you know who? It's SABC employees.
Yes.
Those 8 journalists and others who joined the march to say, don't pay TV license. Remember, during the rediffusion, I told you, staff at the SABC, I said, actually, you are retrenching yourself.
Yes.
How can you, SABC, as employees of the SABC, you said people should not pay TV license? You have been saying that. You have been working with opposition parties, some of the SABC employees. You have retrenched yourself. So where I get in, and I warn you, it's on record there at the rediffusion, if you have been attending the rediffusion. I won. I said, all these people who are calling people not to pay TV license because of the visuals, actually, the target is you as employees of the SABC. The ad hoc committee, they cause more problems than anyone. Because if you do business with private sector, there is a contract between the two parties. You go and reveal the contract. What people are going to do, they withdraw the money. That ad hoc committee contributed to the mess of the SABC today. It's not a secret. But you need men and women with vision and who knows how to deal with money, like us. And I'm also aware that there are opportunities there at the SABC. Yes. They go with the wind. When they see the boss is this one today, they go with that boss. Yes. And some of the boss, they're going to take you away forever. You see, they even ignore what the person has been doing. Because if you are honest at the SABC, you can't say Hlaudi was the best. When I'm not there, Hlaudi is a problem. That doesn't make sense and logic. And I can tell you today, SABC, the more people lambast the SABC public, the more they are going to destroy that organization. The more your radio stations and television lambast to say you have weak management, SABC is a mess. Who's going to invest in the SABC? No one is going to invest in the SABC. But let me tell you, when it comes to financials, it is not SABC. ETV, they are in trouble. ETV also, they are also getting money from multi-choice to run that new their channel there, that 403. And others. You see, it needs people with, you see. So, and now I'm happy because people have been saying, get rid of Hlaudi, you will see the consequence, even in court. And you know, when you lead people, I lead people. I don't apologize.
Yes.
The reason why SABC, and I have changed so many things. If you go and check the minutes of the SABC, even the projections where people were projecting certain amount that I don't agree, I said, no, it's your job. Go and make sure that there's money. So, but if you don't know that broadcasting, if you don't know these things, some of us, you know, I grow there, colleagues. I'm the only person who grew within the ranks of the SABC, who knows every corner at the SABC. And when I do things and I listen to stuff, it's because I know I come there. And when I'm there, I represent the staff. So if people mess up the money, now they are saying, Hlaudi, bad luck for them. They don't know what they're talking about. I have been out for 2 years. During that 2 years, SABC has been doing very well. You can't say for 5 years that I have been there acting as the COO. I mean, when there was money. Now because I'm not there, there's no money, and then you blame Hlaudi.
No, it's not.
No, I hear, no, I'm just answering your question. I'm just answering your question. Actually, I have a pain to see that workers at the SABC, especially freelancers, they are going to lose jobs. Actually, workers are going to lose jobs, even permanent ones, if there is no money at the SABC. Remember, when I came, I saved 800 people, where they were supposed to be retrenched. I'm the one who went to Dr. Ngubani to say, I have other means to save SABC. You see, so what? What is the issue? Maybe you need other Hlaudi there. You see, other Hlaudi will be able to. I don't know whether we're going to get other Hlaudi. Because Treasury is not going to assist you forever. I don't think Treasury is sustainable. They can assist you for now, but what is going to happen? And you know, at the SABC, I said you can't have performance management if other people, they don't have job description. If you still remember. I said, let us have job description, and then you put performance management in place. So I don't know what is going to happen, but I can't answer for the SABC. I'm answering during my time.
Yes.
Let me deal with journalists first. I'll come to you, my brother. I want to, because the journalists, they have deadline to deal with. You ask me about my disciplinary hearing. I don't know the date, because I can't charge myself and put the date to say tomorrow, Hlaudi, you are charged. So the SABC should know the date. I don't know the date. What was the other question? Okay.
Do you really recommend for you to be disbanded?
I have never recommended them to be disbanded. What I said people should be vetted as board members, because you can't vet staff when you are not vetted yourself. It should start from the top and go down. To be honest, I don't know, I don't care who's there at the SABC. That is not my problem. But the SABC should do the basics and follow the law. If the ad hoc committee said people should be vetted, why did they allow these people to go through Parliament and allow Parliament to pass, to take them through, when they know they are not vetted? Because when you are vetted, you are going to declare, I have business, and you are going to check who's funding this business. Who is this? Who is this? That is what vetting means. What have you been doing? You know, some people, they fail, they pass the interviews and so on, but fail when it comes to vetting. So what I'm saying, ad hoc committee, they have making noise. They have been making noise, you know, to say SABC people are not vetted. But they themselves, they have appointed people who are not vetted as Parliament. How can that happen? And I'm not saying those people are wrong, they have done wrong. I'm just saying follow the process so that they can also vet all employees of the SABC. And actually, it's not even them. It's the security agency that will vet everybody at the SABC. So I can't choose who should be at the SABC, who should serve at the board. I don't have that power, you see. But I have power to turn around South Africa.
Yes.
That is the power that I have. Ah, no, I'm not saying one party state, my brother. What I'm saying is, you see, if Hlaudi wants to join politics now, I come with my own political party. I want to be employed. I know to go to parliament you need 50,000 people to vote for you. Now I can be voted by 20 million people. So what I'm saying, sometimes I think it's waste of money and taxpayers. Actually, I believe that we are employing politicians just to make noise. No value, just noise, and then push their own political, and they don't even grow. You see, for me, if you may ask me, my belief is you still need to have those political parties that fought for apartheid, like your ANC, PAC, AZAPO, and those who are currently doing very well. You know who are doing very well. Some of them are babies, but they are doing very well. But for me, I can say 5 parties. Not more than 5 parties. Sometimes you have Bishop of their churches. But there is no value for ordinary people. But the truth must be told. The debate in Parliament, they are not taking the country anywhere.
Yes.
There is no value. They are wasting our taxpayers' money. So what we need parties that will go there and fight and talk about real issues of ordinary people. When you do when you do all these things, what is the benefit for ordinary citizens of South Africa? Worst part, these musicians, they have played their part during apartheid.
Yes.
But some of them, they are hobos today. What kind of country are we saying we are? So, and what I'm saying, my brother, I'm saying, and transformation, I'm not just referring to SABC. South Africa must transform. And you know, sometimes it is. I mean, the president can talk. He has been talking about transformation. But you have people under you who are blocking transformation, like they did at the SABC. And I had to get rid of them. Anyone who blocks for transformation, I get rid of you.
Yes.
If I hold that power, forget. You can't block transformation. And I'm not going to change. You're not going to see another Saudi, different Saudi. Any positions that I'm going to occupy, you are going to see the same Saudi consistency. I'm not going to change. Can I, my brother, what you are talking is very interesting, and I support what you have been saying. But let me deal with journalists. Program director.
The brother behind you, my sister, will go first, then you'll be second, and you'll be third. Yes, we'll come through. We'll come at a later stage.
Oh, sure, Master, just stop. Okay. Sorry, I had the mic before you close the session.
Okay.
Okay, Steve from Jacaranda. Mr. Motsoeneng, you did have, I know you and the SABC management during the ad hoc committee, you did have a chance to cross-examine witnesses during the whole inquiry. Did you use that opportunity to cross-examine witnesses, and why didn't you yourself voluntarily go to the inquiry, since a lot of the information that was spoken had a lot to do with you? Thank you.
Mr. Motsoeneng, this is Liziga from News 24. I'm curious about any ambitions that you might have for Parliament. You've spoken about people, you can mobilize 20 million people to vote for you. I'm just wondering, have there been any political parties or anyone within the ANC who has approached you about going to Parliament, seeing that there's 3 seats which are available?
Hi, I'm Michael from the Media Online Media Magazine. It ties in nicely with this question. If you are unsuccessful in your disciplinary hearing, is that the end for your chase to be reinstated at the SABC? Do you have other plans in place to go into politics or maybe another broadcaster somewhere else in the media?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. The first question, I was not given any chance to call witness or to call anyone personally. So some people, they were invited, they were sent emails, they went to parliament. So I was not invited. I even have a press conference, if you remember, after the board, the former chairperson walked out. I also have the press conference to say, I'm surprised that the ad hoc committee is not calling me. I mean, can you, can you volunteer to say, Hlaudi, if you know that there is an inquiry, Hlaudi, come. Should I volunteer myself? I should not volunteer myself. I can't volunteer myself. If you know the issue is Hlaudi, you call Hlaudi. I can't volunteer myself. And I have talked to my legal team. They even share the same view, Hlaudi. How do you go there and volunteer yourself? Because they should call you. And actually that ad hoc committee was not the ad hoc committee, it was Hlaudi ad hoc committee. That is the title, Hlaudi ad hoc committee. So they were supposed to call Hlaudi. You see? And you can see the agenda that they were pushing there, to be honest. They were looking for Hlaudi. Just Hlaudi, if we can, because they know I mesmerize them in parliament when I go for these portfolio committees. So they knew that when I come there, it will be a different ball game in that room. You see? So, I mean, they were supposed to call me. I can't volunteer myself. But what I'm saying to you, that ad hoc committee can't, no one can implement ad hoc committee on Hlaudi because I was not there. My legal team has advised me. I know what is going to happen. So they can implement whatever, but those issues will be outside Hlaudi. Coming to your issue, my sister, I said I can mobilize 20 million. What I know is majority of South Africa, everywhere where I go, they want Hlaudi somewhere. Yes. Everywhere where I go. And they want a very, very senior position. And people have been saying president, minister, but I'm not there yet. I will decide after my disciplinary hearing. I'm not going to deal with what I'm intending to do, but what I can tell you is I hold my own future in my hand, no one else. No one is going to decide, Hlaudi, what is going to happen. Remember, I left SABC. I went and worked. I become more stronger and stronger. The same will happen. So I can tell you, no one is going to decide for me. If I have not decided whether I want to accept to be a politician or not, because I want to focus on the disciplinary hearing. No. Listen. Let me repeat again. Let me repeat again. I said it is not a secret because you media are on social media. Even if you read social media, you'll see people saying Hlaudi for president. Is there. Ordinary people saying that. And I said earlier, because I support a woman for now, I won't stand for president. And if I was going to stand, I will walk. I can tell you that. But I'm not prepared now. You see, for now, the focus is SABC. The focus is to assist those people that I have been assisting, the students, assisting the artists and other people who, and when I said I assist them, I talk to big companies, not me, because I don't have money to assist them. I have money for my children. But I am able to interact with influential business people to assist, which they have been contributing outside SABC now. That is what Ernest was referring to. You know, I have students that I take them for tertiary. I pay for them. But I don't talk about those issues. And people, they are saying, I don't like education. It is misleading. What I said, when we take you to tertiary level, you are educated, we should see value in you. And I have been saying, some people who are more educated and certificated, they always quote other people. If you quote other people, when are other people are going to quote you so that we can see there is value in you? We want people to be quoted.
I can't every time quote whatever. The same issue when I addressed young people, I said, you see, that freedom charter of us, it's good, it's historical, but we need our own freedom charter, the relevant freedom charter that will deal with reality. But we can't ignore the past freedom charter. But most of people, when they talk, even politicians, quote this one, and then I ask, when they're gonna quote you? You must be quoted, so that we can see that you have vision. You can lead the nation. My brother, I think partly because your question was partly the same. I don't know whether I have also covered you, but I think I have covered you. But I don't dream to be a politician for now. Actually, if I should be a politician after a woman, and I believe that I'll be the president. I'm not going to contest anything without the president of South Africa. If that time comes.
You'll be next. Any other hand? You'll be next, and the gentleman next to you, and the lady backseat. You are noted. We'll come to you, my brother. Legend. Shoot, my sister.
All right, thank you. That means your name, Mahlako Komani from SABC News. You earlier on, when you started the press conference, you did say that you did not call this press conference. It was friends of Hlaudi that did. But I've also heard you during the press conference saying that you are waiting for a DC from your employer, the SABC. I'm understanding that you are still employed by the SABC. Is it not, are you not trespassing on the regulations of the SABC by speaking on issues of the SABC outside of the DC that you are supposed to undergo? Can you just please clarify that? And also secondly, can you also please help us and clarify the woman candidate that you support for presidency? And thirdly, can you also please give us a breakdown of the figures and the sustainability of the SABC financially? You spoke about the 2 years that look at the SABC and it was doing very well. Can you just please give us meat on that? Thank you.
If I may ask, which media institution are you from?
The SABC.
SABC, thank you. The brother.
Philip Debate from the Mail and Guardian. Sir, given your deep interest in balance and fairness, can you please tell us what the response was from the ANC when you told the ANC that you saw it colluding, I think you said, with the opposition? What was the response when you put that to them before publication today, as it were? And also, what was the response of those you accused of, I think it was perjury, and there was a judge accused of a conflict of interest? Can you run us through what their responses were, what their self-justifications were when you put this to them?
Okay.
Hi, I'm Hlaudi Motsoeneng from Netwerk 24 in Beeld. So as you can't go to the SABC currently, what are you doing with your days? And then I just wanted to find out, as your salary is a matter of public record, I would just like to get confirmation that you're still receiving your full salary as stated in the 2015-2016 financial statements of the SABC until your DC has a conclusion going either way. Thank you.
Maybe it's better to start with the last question. I'm still an employee of the SABC. I can't divulge my salary. Go and read corporate plan, is there, it's public document. You will see what the corporate plan says. SABC can respond on that issue, but reality is I'm still an employee of the SABC. What I'm doing now, when I'm not at the SABC, I'm enjoying life. That is what I do. I'm enjoying life. And I have more time now to sit with my family. The time that I was not having when I was still busy there. So now I have more time with my family, take my children to school, crack some jokes, and do all this stuff. But also, I mean, you know that I'm invited every week to different provinces where I address people. So that is what I do on my personal capacity. Because South Africans, they still need that Hlaudi to be with them. So that is what I do. The
I think you are fine, my sister.
Are
Your
you
question.
sorted?
You are sorted. Okay.
Thank you.
When I SABC Nzore, repeat yourself.
Can you please give?
But maybe let me respond on the one that you were talking about. Remember, I'm not here talking on behalf of the SABC. Ne? You know, SABC from 2008, it was around 200 million. It was around, and then when I think I was acting COO, it went to around 5 billion. Now we're talking about 5 billions and 8 billions. Somewhere there, that is the round figure that I can give you. You see, and then you will know that there was a time when we were having 1.4 billion in the bank. But let me tell you the story. You see, the problem that we normally do, you can't have 1.4 billion in the bank and you don't spend that money to empower black people and pay artists and pay production houses. You see? So you need to use money. What the SABC needs to do, just sustain that 600 million that you need, because you're not a profit company. You are a public company. And let me tell you, because SABC has been focusing more on the public. You see, if you can just say, okay, let us operate like other commercial broadcasters. You can generate billions, but who's going to suffer? So, in my view, SABC needs to have money that is sustainable to pay its workers and do whatever and pay production house and make sure that even emerging production house, you are able to pay them. But I can't talk about now because I'm not there. I'm not there. So, you see, I'm not there. I can't talk about the issues. Remember, I responded earlier to say, when I left, and I'm talking about audited finances, it was 800 million when I left. So I can't answer beyond that. But I told you I have contributed more than 1 billion. What else you want? Who has done at the SABC as an individual? You see, so I think it is very important to understand that SABC itself, and this question that you are asking, it is a malicious question. Malicious questions, because I have been called by SABC, because you are saying I should not talk here when the 8 have been talking everywhere. And remember, I'm the former COO. I have responsibility. Even now, people are talking about Hlaudi. I'm responding to all those allegations. And I'm responding as a citizen, not as an SABC person. Because that is very malicious to say, are you not? I have been talking with media. I address everyone. I address the community. I need your permission to talk. No, I'm not talking to you, my dear. I'm just taking SABC now. I want to tell you, I don't need your permission or SABC permission to talk. This is my press conference. I have been saying I'm going to respond to this all allegations. I respond to South Africans. This is what I'm responding to, not SABC. I'm responding to South Africans. Because South Africans, they have been waiting for me to respond. This is what I'm responding to.
And also, can you just clarify for us the women candidate that you support for presidency?
No, look, I have appointed many executives at the SABC, women. You know them. I'm the one who appointed women at the SABC when no one was able to do that. I appoint very good women at the SABC. I'm not going to say I support this one. I support this one. Any woman.
Thank you.
Any woman. As long as it is a woman. Any woman.
The gentleman next to you asked a question. Can you repeat your question?
Rephrase that. Sir, hi, Philip.
No, not have to rephrase. Repeat your question.
The simple question was, you tell us that you believe in balance and fairness, then presumably you've put the allegations to the ANC that they colluded with the DA. You've put the allegation to the sitting judge that he didn't disclose a conflict of interest. You put the allegation to the SABC board member you've accused of perjury. Can you give us a brief reflection of what their responses were when you were having that conversation?
Man, maybe English is a very difficult language. Because what you are saying, some of the issues, I didn't say that. You see, I didn't say those issues that you are talking about. I said, in my personal view, those journalists, if it was a different judge, I think it will be a different outcome. Because the judge did not declare that the wife is responsible for the firm that was responsible for the aid. If you go to court, check the SABC, because those issues are public issues. I also saw them there, that the judge was conflicted in the matter. He didn't declare. So if it was another court, maybe it will be a different, if it was another judge, it will be a different judgment. And I said to you, the aid went to the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court dismissed what they were looking for. Which means, in my view, what we have been doing very well, because the Constitutional Court could not agree with these people of who were fighting about the editorial policy of the SABC. This is what I'm saying. So what are you saying about the board? Paging. I didn't talk about page when it comes to the board. Sorry?
You said, I believe, that Krishna Naidu lied on oath, that
Yeah,
crime of perjury. Presumably you then put
okay,
that allegation
no,
to him.
I want to
and you
repeat.
can tell us how you responded, please.
I want to repeat. Naidu lied under oath. The company secretary of the SABC, Teresa Hayes, gave the ad hoc committee evidence to say this man lied. As a former board member, I also have those minutes where Grish agreed with us on many matters. But when he went there like editorial policy, he said no, he was not part of that editorial policy, doesn't know anything. When it comes to the review of the public protector, Krishna Naidu signed the review. He went to ad hoc committee to say, no, we didn't review this. The evidence is there. What you need to do as journalists, get the evidence. I'm not cooking stories here. I'm saying go and check the facts. And the facts, they are public because the company secretary has given ad hoc committee those facts. So Krishna Naidu should not be a board member because he's a liar. That is what I'm saying. He's not fit to be in that board. And I said other board members, they're supposed to be vetted first, and they should have clearance from the security agency. That is what I'm saying. And I didn't say this one should not be there. And I said if you work for another broadcaster, you can't work for SABC or a board member because it's conflict of interest. If you work for print media, you can't be a board member of the SABC when actually we know print media is opposition to SABC. Print media push their own agenda to destroy black people in South Africa. And let me tell you, you can't be part of SOS also, and you become a board member. And I want to say to you, I support the Rainbow Nation, but there are those issues that we should not tolerate as a nation. We should stand up and say no and big no. You see, I can't talk about other board members. And you see, I have never mentioned other board members by names. I'm talking about the person who I know, he operates like this. When he's on that side, operate like this. And I'm saying he can't be a person who works in the Tuli house. And a lawyer. If you are a lawyer, man, you should have a practice. You should have a practice and then don't go, because the Krishna Naidu, his work is to go and chase away ANC members and discipline them. A lawyer should have his own practice and so that I can even go to him and say, hey, lawyer, I'm in trouble here, I need you. because I'm always in trouble. So Krishna Naidu should not be part of that board.
All right, cutting out of that press briefing, hearing from Mr. Motsoeneng, addressing a number of issues from the financial woes of the SABC to a lot of criticism that he's been getting around the 90% local content issue. And just a quick apology to any viewers who may have been offended by any bad language used during that presser. The SABC does not condone that. We were on a live feed, so control over that is not in our hands. All right, well, let's get more reaction now to Mr. Motsoeneng's briefing. I'm joined by SABC spokesperson Kaiser Kganyago. Mr. Kganyago, thanks so much for your time. Welcome.
Thank you.
So we heard from Mr. Motsoeneng saying that he's not holding this briefing as part of the SABC, that he's holding it as an individual, that it is his briefing. So in what capacity was Mr. Motsoeneng speaking?
Obviously, we would not know what capacity he will be speaking on. As the SABC, all we can say is we have noted the press conference, we have been following it, and the position of the SABC around it is very simple. We know that Mr. Motsoeneng is still an employee of the organization, and we have, the board has taken a decision that they are not going to communicate with him through the media. Therefore, we are not going to be in a position to respond to the issues that he is raising. We will then deal with him as an employee of the organization directly, as we would do with any other employee of the organization.
So if he is still an employee of the organization, how much influence does he still have within the SABC?
Obviously, those are the issues that are in the public domain. As far as we are concerned, he's an employee.
You would go. Any other hand? Ndate Babsi, you're from ENCA, you'll be the last. Ndate Babsi would go because, no, you'll be second in Ndate Babsi.
Did you say something?
Can I say something, colleagues? I think I'm going to say it. And I think Chief was addressing those issues. To say when you lead, when you take right, people choose to go left, you must kick them in the butt. I'm leading this process. Line of march must be clear. I said you are number one, and Tate Babsi will be number two. The person from ENCA will be number three. And I don't think there's anybody who can dictate terms. You'll come to the next round, Chief.
Hi, I'm Catherine Child from the Times newspaper and Times Media website. I just want to know, there are people at SABC apparently losing their jobs. Are you concerned that you're earning hundreds of thousands of rand each month and sitting at home? Do you think you should be taking a salary while you make jokes with your family and have time? And then you said 3 countries have followed the example of 90% local content. Which ones are they?
Okay, thank you. Ndate Babsi, you'll be next.
Babsi Mlangeni is my name. Tate Hlaudi, when you called a meeting at the SABC about when you announced about the 50,000 rand that you gave to the veterans, I then stood up and thank you for availing that money in my lifetime. Now that there's this uncertainty of you no more being with SABC, a lot of these veterans are phoning me wherever I am in meetings. They want to know, Auntie, what's happening, just because I stood up in the national TV and thanked you. So they want to know from me. Could you please set the record straight as a belief? Thank you.
Okay. The lady from ENCA.
It's Konachona from ENCA.
Can you come here?
It's Konachona from ENCA. I just need clarity. My colleague did ask this question about what are you going to do beyond the DC? Are you still going to challenge? Do you still have interest in going back to the SABC?
Okay, thank you.
sitting at home, getting whatever. I think that is the law. That if you take someone for disciplinary hearing, you must adhere to the labor laws of this country. That is my answer to you. And I said, I have a pain when people lose jobs. Because if I was there, they will never lose jobs. I mean, I know, SABC people knows that if I was there, it will be a different ball game. So that is what I have been saying. But I mean, that is labor laws. I can't respond on labor laws. And actually, there is no sin when a black person is being paid a lot of money. There is nothing wrong about it. Because when white people are paid, people keep quiet. And for me, I mean, I think I'm paid what I deserved. I have said many times, I even deserve more than what I'm getting at the SABC. That is what I'm deserving. I mean, and I can tell you there's so many offers. People asking me to join them, paying me triple or double. There are many offers. Because people want someone who can do the work, who can add value. So for me, I won't say I'm not happy if people lose jobs. And actually I have saved most of them. They will tell you, I have saved all of them. And some of them, they are crying, but the problem is I can't intervene because I'm not there at the SABC. I mean, I respect the courts, I respect the public protector, all these rulings, so I don't want to go outside what the court says. Hlaudi, stay at home until your disciplinary hearing. Coming to the issue where I have interest to come back after my disciplinary hearing, let's wait and see what is going to happen during the disciplinary hearing. But I said it is the beginning of Hlaudi, that disciplinary hearing. It's not the end of Hlaudi. You see, that is what I said. You see, I may be leading all of you, regulating you. You see, because I like regulations, so that people are online. What?
You mentioned key countries which benchmark.
Oh, okay. No, look, I have been meeting many countries. One of them it will be Swaziland, Botswana. I mean, I think you have seen when we have what you call press conference with these broadcasters from outside. It's just that I can't remember all of them by head, but I know that I have been meeting them. They have been here actually applauding what we have been doing. Actually, some of them even international. I went to India, where I caused havoc. About, remember when we were buying this content, remember when you go to India, it's all these broadcasters and people who are supplying content. Ne? So I said to them, we can only buy content to you if I see South Africans are also acting in those soaps abroad, because our own actors, they are also international. They can act international. That is what I have been doing. But remember, because I want to emphasize, local content, what we mean is filmmakers. You know, filmmakers went outside the country because they were not getting any opportunity. When you open 90%, they came back, some of them. They came back in South Africa to say, now we want to invest, we want to produce. Some of them are here in South Africa. I remember, you know, there was issue in the Indian community where they were very vocal about local content. And I'm not surprised that Krishna Do is also talking about the matter on media, if it is true. And I said to the Indian community, and I went there with the team, I said, look, because they were saying their artists are not professionals, South Africans artists. I said, this is the time for us as SABC to produce Indian artists as professionals and pay them. Because they were saying they sing for fun. I said, these people, they have families. So for me, 90% is part of making sure that we create jobs. Indians community must support it. I went on radio stations, Lotus. Some of them, they were very vocal, but I stood my ground. And I told them that, no, this is the way, and this is going to benefit you. You may not see it now, but for long term, you will see that I was right. And actually, when you go outside the country, you know, when people arrive here, for the first time they're saying, we feel we are in South Africa. Because when you arrive at the airport, you get into the car, They play Beyonce, Isaac Hayes, and others. Hi, I'm still in abroad, or I'm in South Africa, I'm in Africa. So we are saying we need to be African. When these people from outside come, they should feel that South Africa. And also what it does, it opens doors for our own artists, because they will be known for them to come. You know, painful. If artists from outside come here, they pay triple. And our own artists, they go and perform at the stadium, they pay them peanuts. Not even quarter of what they pay people from outside. We must stop that. But also, we must make sure that all 11 languages, and including Afrikaans, you remember we introduced that we are going to have 4 channels. Afrikaans, Tsonga, I don't remember, and others, but 4. And we were saying that, look, we need funding for this. And I can tell you, I secure funding for 1 channel. But those people, they have withdrawn. Because they said, I thought there's many problems at the SABC. We can't invest there now. And you'll be surprised, even other broadcasters, they want me. The same people who are talking very bad about me. Others, they say, if we can get you, why can't you just leave? So I don't want to leave, because for me it's the principle and ethics and what I stand for. And because public broadcasters play a very crucial role for empowerment of South African, black and white. And the more you are saying I should go, the more I will fight, I will go. You rather keep quiet, maybe I will just go.
Okay,
look, it is not a secret that I went and raised funding for the legends. 5 million. And SABC had, I think, another 5 million, which was in totality 10 million. I know some of people at SABC, they have already paid them. Some not yet. But you see the problem, I'm not there now. So I can't account for that. But what I know, I did raise funding. And when I told, like, you received your 50,000. Yes. And musician. But even 50,000 is not sustainable. Yeah. We need to make sure that there's quality music so that we can sustain it. Okay?
You'll be second. Let me give Dr. Shebeleza.
Leadership, the most crucial part is that we acknowledge and appreciate your contribution and everything that you did for all of us, not as a musician, but also as actors. But what I'm trying to say is not a question, is that there are a lot of people who are radio personalities. There are a lot of people who are musicians. And most of the people, I'm asking myself, would if a person take a right decision, why can't we acknowledge and appreciate that? All the time, you'll see and in 90%, it's a fact. The present artists, the present actors, you save them, you injected their financial muscles, but even if they don't, you've got the producers, and I'm not scared to say that. The Mvangos, the generation, and everybody, the actors. Abo Robert Marawa, Abo Bonam. They're not here to say thank you. Why? And all the guys, CJB, Akusi, everybody, Blondi Makene. They always support and Abarilizam. The people who are benefiting presently are them. Why are we scared here? AK is not here. All of them, they're not here, but they benefit because of you. There's something wrong somewhere there. And my biggest fear is that we're failing ourselves as South African, black, white, and Indians. When you say 90%, you're not saying Maskanda, Kwaito, or something. Even the Afrikaner people, they will benefit. But I'm sad, I'm just acknowledging that. And the most powerful message in Itologumam Abigail Kubeka, he said he loved and wished to be here because to say peace by a shooter. And he said he's here with you. It's all I can say. And I appreciate your input, whether you are at the SABC or not. But we acknowledge and appreciate your injection, not even financially, to sustain the next future generation musically, acting and everything. We thank you.
We take one last question.
Good afternoon, Mr. Motsoeneng. There are reports, last year you announced that the royalties from needle time collection on radio would be increased from 2% to 4%. Now there are some reports saying that this has not been implemented, and this has not been implemented because the SABC could not afford it. The reports go further and say that the SABC hasn't paid royalties to SAMRO for the last 7 years. Now, that would be during your time at the SABC. Are you aware of non-payment to SAMRO? Did you make any payments during your time at the SABC to SAMRO? If they are not being paid, this goes against your empowerment message, against the 90% local content policy, because I mean you can have 90% local policy, local content policy, but if you don't pay the people, you're not empowering them. Thank you.
Excuse me. Once again, I know some of you colleagues or comrades, you love Hlaudi much too much, but not all of you would be able to speak. So you'll be the last person, and I'm giving you 30 seconds. Please, I'm not taking any comments, any further comments and questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Kapsula Kwazna. I'm from Sakai. I would like to thank you, Stan, for all the love you have for us. I'm representing abuse and domestic violence victims, women and children in South Africa. And I would like to say thank you so much. People who are living with HIV and AIDS, our music is also bringing a message of hope to them, and also bringing a message to the perpetrators of the abusers to say, no, it's enough. And thank you so much. To say if somebody's dying there, but can hear the music to say, hold on, hope is on the way. It's true, the 90%. Thank you so much. God bless you. You are our Jesus and we love you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister. I think it was a comment, an acknowledgement. I'm happy. No, I think you are correct. You see, needle time, remember, and I need to emphasize this. Who came with needle time? It's President Zuma. Remember the Farm Commission? It's President Zuma. Because we should not, President Zuma has done well for the artist. But SABC has put a budget aside to deal with needle time. But when we were busy dealing with needle time, now there were other society saying, no, actually SAMRO, those members, they don't belong to SAMRO. They belong to us. There are different views on the collecting society. Who belongs to who? I'm just giving you the background. Other people said, no, stop it until we resolved which members belong to SAMRO, which members belong to a certain collecting society. So, but in my view, remember, it is only the SABC at that time, we took a decision to say, we are going to backdate needle time payment. Because by the court, we were supposed to implement it, I think, in 2013, but I'm talking under corrections, because now I don't remember very well. But we said we will backdate it from 2006. The reason why we give the legends, because they were outside that scope, 50,000, just to say thank you, because SABC has been playing their music. But I can't deny or confirm to you because I don't know at the SABC whether they have paid those royalties. What I know, when I was there was those discussions where people come to say, no, if you pay problems and so on, but there was a team at the SABC trying to make sure that they work together with this collecting society. So that is what has been happening. I won't be able to say some people have been paid or not. I can't say that. And remember, for the past 2 years, I have been out at the SABC. I come for 2 months, you know, I'm out, I come back. So really, I can't, consistency, I can't give you a proper answer on all those issues. But I think SABC should be able to respond. But as far as I'm aware, there was money that was allocated from SABC budget to pay all people when it comes to royalties. But you know, the issue also that I am very concerned is the artists themselves. They should be business people themselves. You see, where you have the middlemen, because that is what also I was touching at the SABC before they touched me. You see, I was touching that to say, if you're an artist, why can't you run your own business? So that when we pay, you have your own staff, it's your own business. You can appoint the CFO, a manager, to run your business. It will be good, because even now, I mean, the bulk of money, when artists complain, they don't get this money. We can pay little time, but how much is going to go to them? Because there are other middlemen and women who are being paid. So those are the issues that we as South Africans, we need to deal with. But I'm in support that people must be paid, because I mean, if you are saying, like if we are saying 90% local content, you don't pay people, it's useless. I'm in agreement with you, and people must be paid that what is due to them. Actually, there must be more innovation. And I have appealed to all these artists that they should produce quality music, not a song that you listen 1 week, you jive after a week. You see, and I said to them, they can't all of them produce songs about Hlaudi. You see, it's fine, they have appreciated and produced songs, but now we need quality music moving forward. The Hlaudi song, hey, I love them, but they need to produce songs for South Africans now, and quality songs. But we need to play their music also. So that is what I think we need to do. But it is really important that people are paid what is due to them. But Tebo will know. He is one of the people who are very vocal. Oh, Mr. Rapizi. You know, he's my former boss. I give him headache, this one, when I was. He knows. He's my former boss, Mr. Rapizi. He was in charge for technology. Now I changed technology, speed up technology, to say, no, you can't take 3 years. But no, he was also doing well in technology. But some people mess up what he was doing. But it's fine. But welcome that. I'm happy to see you. You know, I'm a soldier. I'm ready always to attend the war. But it is important that really, lastly, it was the last question.
Yeah.
That when we talk about content, it's not about artists only, it's business, it's everything. That is what we call content. We want to empower all South Africans, not just outside companies and big companies only. We want to invest in our own people. Actually, I hear that the rent is low. Who's not eating today? People at the shacks who are still eating. Everybody's still eating. I don't know that rent, it affects who? Because people are misleading us. But you know, what I want, if we as South Africans, we can have our own currency, Africa. We need our own currency, so that we dictate our own currency. Yeah, and this agency that are coming from outside, they go with perceptions, not reality. Perception. If they hear that Rapids has done this, rent down. And I wonder if someone was in charge for finance will die. What is going to happen? Are you saying we should not now? We should wake up the person who's dead, say, no, you are still the minister. It can't be right. We as South Africans, we should not listen to this, the West people. We should come with our own currency. If we are going to suffer because of this whatever content, let us suffer. But for long term, we are going to appreciate what we have been fighting for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, colleagues, members of the Fourth Estate, for coming through. Our hope is that you'll be factual in terms of reporting. You would not distort the information provided by Ntate Hlaudi Motsoeneng. Thanks for coming through, Ntate Hlaudi Motsoeneng, to put the record straight. Thank you very much. Our guest, thank you.